Hey, how is everybody doing? This is my first live stream. I'm very excited to have a great panel of guests here to talk Scream with me. Tonight we are just going to be ranking from worst to first all five of these Scream movies that have come out. We'll also talk some Scream 6 stuff here and there throughout the stream. We'll check out some comments. But let's get to these guests. So first we have Terrell from the
Hey.
Overlook Theater. There he is.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I didn't know this was your first stream. That's awesome, by the way.
Yeah, testing it
Yes.
out, trying it out.
And
Want to have
and
some fun
Scream,
tonight.
yeah, it's a great one to start with. Scream is everything, and I cannot wait for the movie Scream 6. So yeah, we're gonna get into this.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Terrell.
Yeah.
And then we have Tim. Tim Talks Talkies.
Howdy. Killer lineup you got for first live stream though. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
It's a great community, so it was easy to pick, and see who I wanted to get on here.
Yep.
And then we got Nate from Geeks and Flicks.
What's up, hey, listen, I'm like Terrell. I didn't know this was your first. I feel way more honored that
Yeah, me too.
you asked me to be on your first live stream. Very excited. And like Tim said, a great group. I've done live stream with all of you guys.
Yep.
Well, most of you guys.
You guys.
One. But very excited.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Awesome to have you. And then we have Cody from Dude Who Loves Movies. Great to have you. Thank you very much. Can we hear you?
Did he pop up?
Yeah,
I don't
we can
think he
see you.
popped up.
Yeah, I can see you. I don't know if.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is.
Okay. I'm about to say.
There he is.
We were talking about the dark web earlier. I got scared, y'all. We sure was.
I thought
we
my
got-
screen was lagging.
Well, it kept saying that I was in the back room still, and everyone's talking, and I was like, okay.
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 I was like, I don't see him. I just see four
I'm still eating the
people.
peanut M&Ms in the green room.
Yeah. I like to make a grand entrance. I like to come in late. Thanks for
I
having me,
see.
Rob. Especially your first stream. I got some
Hey.
Jiffy Puff ready.
Awesome stuff. There we go.
That's perfect.
I'm ready to go. Shake and bake.
Yeah, and you got the Scream 6 poster. You're ready, man.
Yeah, I love
I'm
that.
Ready.
Yep. And we got one more. We got Mark from Tales from
Mark.
the Shelves.
What's up,
Great to have you too, dude. Thank you very much.
dude? Thank you for, like everybody else has said, I didn't know this was your first stream, so I'm super happy to be here with this awesome lineup. This is a stacked lineup, so I'm super happy to be a part of it.
Thank you. Thank you. And all I can say is make sure everybody in the comments who's watching, subscribe to everybody here. They have great content. Alrighty, so let's get to it. So first we're gonna start with our fifth favorite of the franchise. And let's start with Terrell.
Oh damn! I've never went first.
Let's do
damn.
it.
All right, so I got thrown off. All right, so Scream is amazing. I love Scream of all five of these movies. I feel like they're all great. So it's kind of hard for me to pick and choose because my rankings always change. But I will say my number 5 is always the same, and I'm going with Scream 3. So, mind you, Scream 3 is still a good movie, but I don't know. Out of all of them, this one is a bit more funny. I remember watching this. I wasn't as scared watching this when I first seen it as a kid. I don't know. I like Scream 3. I rewatched it last night, actually, because I want to make sure that, because this is when I watched the least. Gail's bangs still scare me. That's the scariest thing in this movie. And, I don't know. I like her and Parker Posey's character, her and Jennifer Jolie, I think her name was, the one who was playing Gale in Stab 3. She was my favorite. But I don't know. Scream 3 is great. I just feel like there's a lot of things that I had trouble with. I did like the opener too, with that "What If" song from Creed, and you had Cotton Weary, and with his little white sweater, very reminiscent to Casey Becker with her opening kill, Scream 1. And I don't know, there's a lot of stuff I did like about this, but this, out of all the movies, like I've connected more to the other 4. Sydney, badass in this movie. She was just like, I've heard this shit before. We're about to get to it, and she, fighting her brother. Are we spoiling this, right? Yeah. So the brother was only one killer supposedly, allegedly, but I don't know how he did all that on his own. I don't know how I feel about the new voice changer thing where they try to change, like, you could talk as anybody. Well, nowadays you could do that, like TikTok and AI shit. Now you could be anybody. But I don't know. Scream 3, my number 5. Yeah, I never went first before, but thank you. You threw me off guard.
Awesome, you know? Yeah, no, you're great, man. Awesome. So let's see what Tim has to say next.
I don't have the separate release. I just have this, but I'm gonna go with the same exact thing. Scream 3. I will say this is one of the most consistent horror franchises out there. It ranges from pinnacle of horror to still pretty solid fun time with Scream 3. There is a lot of weird comedy though that doesn't fit. Like there's a Jay and Silent Bob cameo that while like, oh, there's Jay and Silent Bob, it's freaking weird in Scream. There is a Carrie Fisher meta cameo that's just kind of weird. There's a knife getting thrown at Dewey's head and it landing like hilt first into his head. There's a lot of just weird comedy. It didn't land as much, and the killer is the lamest killer in the franchise. Absolutely lamest freaking killer. But the soundtrack is freaking awesome. Man, I'm a big fan of like new metal and stuff like that. Creed, Slipknot, Finger 11, System of a Down, Godsmack, Cold Chamber, Static X. Like this is a badass soundtrack, man.
Oh, I like that. Lenticular though.
Yeah,
okay,
cool.
Come through.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I got that somewhere in here, you know.
Nice.
So good.
It's a good one. Yep. Awesome. So let's see what Nate has to say next.
Well, you know, I don't like to rock the boat too much. I don't like to go out here and be the crazy person who like says Scream 2 for number 5 or anything like that. But honestly, I also pick Scream 3. Look, where I will deviate a bit from the other two is I don't really like it that much.
Damn.
Yeah, this is one of those movies that's like, and I'm not like this with every franchise. I'm not a completionist always. Like I can skip. I don't need to have it. So with Scream, I have all of them, but it's the one that I have because I have the others. I feel like it's not. I agree with what you guys said though. I think most of the comedy doesn't really work for me. It's like it's like they went meta for the sake of being meta to be meta and then get more meta type of thing. You know what I mean? Where it's just like it's too much. So I do think I love Sydney in it. I agree with Terrell. I think Sydney's really good in it. But I think the just the overall tone, because they're all to me they're not over. None of them are overly serious. You know what I mean? So that's okay, the humor, but it's like overboard. So I agree with you guys there, but I'm just not a big fan of Scream 3. It's the least memorable. Like it's the one that I never think of. Like when I think of the franchise, no scenes from Scream 3 ever pop into my head. So
the one with the mom, for me, the mom, the old lady, the one that walked up when Sydney was like in hiding as Laura, and she walked up and like the mom put her fingers on the thing. That shit was scary to me. That was the only scary part. Oh, and of course Gail's bangs. But yeah, that movie was.
Yeah, the bangs are horrible.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, the knife thing is what I remember most, and not for a good reason. Like when the knife is spinning at the, I'm like, what is? Yeah. I feel like Scary Movie was Scream 3. Like that's what they were making fun of specifically.
Yeah. Rob mentioned that documentary earlier. I rewatched the Dums or whatever.
Drum Dums, yes.
Drum Dums. There we go. Yeah, he did that. And there was like an interview there where a guy was like, I guess when they threw that, they were supposed to connect like to a shoulder or something. But since that happened in a previous movie, they're like, oh, how about we do? He was just trying to make it comedic. I don't know. But they changed that. That's why we got that little stupid little thing that hit his head in the forehead. I don't know. Yeah. But that wasn't originally there. But yeah, they really camped that up.
Something else I want to call out real quick. In a post-Harvey Weinstein world, did you guys notice how on the nose Lance Hendrickson's Milton character is to Harvey? Watching, I was like, oh my God, this is like dead on. Like it's like Kevin Williamson wrote it as Harvey.
Yeah. It's like it's like unintentionally meta. It's kind of strange.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Let's see what Cody has to say.
You're muted, Cody.
I'm having all kinds of trouble today, guys.
Oh, good.
So I'm going to change things up a bit, and I'm going to have Scream 3 as my least favorite. And the reason why it is my least, well, first of all, the more I watch it, the more I like it. But it has been my least favorite throughout the whole franchise. And the thing I don't like about it is I don't like how she's having visions of her mom. I thought that was a little weird. And I do have fond memories of it because it was the first Scream and first horror movie I saw. It wasn't the first horror movie. It wasn't the first Scream movie I saw. It was the first horror movie I saw by myself in theaters. Like me and my friend, we thought we were really cool. We were like, I don't know, 13, 12 years old, and our parents bought the ticket. So we thought we were really cool watching it. So I do like it. And me, I love Scream 3. I do have to say, my whole list, I love all the Scream movies.
Mhm.
So I just had to put them in
Same.
order of least favorite, which I know that's what it is. But this is a franchise that stays consistent so far. So
Mhm.
I don't want you to think that just because it's number 5, it's hated. It's just my least favorite out of all of them right now.
I agree.
I gotta say something though to what you just said. It's really funny how that thing, that memory of like your first parentless, adultless horror. I love the movie The Faculty because it's the first horror movie I just went to see with my sister when I was like 11. And it was the scariest movie I ever saw. I swear. I'm like, this is the scariest movie I ever seen in my life. I can't even. And then I watch it now and I'm like, I still love it, but it's not.
Faculty's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, whenever you have something tied like that where it's specific, you can't help but just you're
Mhm,
gonna
I
like
get
it
it.
no matter what.
My first on
Yeah.
my own was Halloween Resurrection, and that's not a good movie. But at the time, I was all here for it.
Oh yeah,
Yes, period.
definitely.
Mhm.
Alrighty, so let's see what Mark has to say.
Oh,
Oh,
Let's
Mark
not-
is gone.
Oh, now he's back.
Oh.
Let's do it.
Now he's back.
I thought my webcam messed up again. I was like, mother F. Oh. All right.
Oh my god.
So yeah. It's 3. It's number 3.
Damn, unanimous.
Yeah. I don't think it's a hot take either. I mean, it's got to be the worst. And it's strange because the first movie is obviously the first one, and it's very great. And then the second one, it's like, okay, well now we can talk about sequels. Like there's all this stuff we can work on as far as like horror movie history and tropes and stuff. And then they were like, oh well, we got to do the trilogy. And for me, the trilogy meta-ness just didn't really hit for me as hard as the first 2 did. And yeah, just for that reason and all the other stuff you guys have said, it's got to be in last place. And to be honest, I don't really like this movie on like just even in like it's fine kind of way. My 4 and my 5 I don't really like, and then the other 3 I do enjoy quite a bit. So
I just thought about something when you said about trilogy too. When I rewatched it, that scene where they're watching Randy's tape.
Mhm.
He mentions about surviving a horror trilogy and all that, but he made that supposedly during, like, before he was killed in 2. Did he make that thinking they would kill the killer in 2 and then there would be another killer and it would happen again to be a trilogy? Because if he was making it to help them at that time, it's still the sequel. You got what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Like what was his context for that? That's interesting. I never thought about that before.
Maybe he has one for each one, so he has like five just hid away somewhere.
I
Like,
think
okay,
the
in case
writer
they don't survive this one.
I think the writer just didn't think of it either. To be honest with you, I think he
Just
just
didn't think it
Yeah.
through.
people will like this guy. He's a fan favorite. He made a tape before he died.
Yeah, they all said like a couple of interviews. I think in that other one I saw too, like a lot of them were like kind of bummed that he got taken out, like in part 2. And I think what they did in the third one, they were trying to bring him back. And I did hear that they were supposed to bring him back. Like how like Dewey got fucked up in the first 2, and you thought he died. Well, in this one, they were gonna be like, oh well, he got stabbed to fuck up. Maybe he got wounded. They healed his wounds, and he's coming back for the third one. But that didn't work out. So they said, oh, let's do the tape thing. Let's bring in Martha, which it works out later when part 5 comes. But and she brought that tape, even though I don't know how she got on set because it wasn't a closed set. They talked about it being a closed set, and that bitch is on set. I don't know how that happened, but I don't know. So I think he just made that thinking that maybe he didn't make it through the second one, and somebody else gonna come after him. Who knows? Maybe he knew something we didn't, so that's why he made that tape for Miss Sydney. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like to think if Randy had made it to the modern day, he would have had preparations in place for every subsequent film. Because he would have known what to do. It's a shame he's not around anymore.
See, like although he he'd be a great asset to the franchise now, I like that they killed him in the second one. Like when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I don't know. Okay, nothing's off limits.
Yeah.
Well, it was
I
awesome.
like a movie like that. They couldn't top Drew Barrymore in the first one, so I feel like that was the next best thing was to kill Randy. And I know that's people are probably like, no, we need Randy. I think it was a good idea.
Yeah, you got to kill some of these people off because it's turning to Scooby Doo.
It's so important
people
to kind of have that like Game of Thrones effect where like nobody feels safe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the main 3 made it really far off of that plot armor, but they're starting to do away with that now, and I like that. Like I don't want I don't want it to feel like, oh well, it might look like she's in danger, but you don't have to worry, like she'll be around. So I like it when nothing feels sacred.
What I love about Randy's death, though, especially, is when you watch a horror movie, generally, when they're alone or at night, you think that they're vulnerable. But this is broad daylight, right when there's people around. Like
all these people around.
Yeah, nobody expects him to die right there. Like almost no horror movie would pull that off, besides like a Final Destination. So it was ballsy.
Yeah, and that's another thing. A lot of people are like, "Oh, he would never have his back against the van." I was like, he had a lot going on at that time. You can't be thinking
he did. He was looking all over the place
all the time.
And he probably thought it's broad daylight. I'm probably good right now, you know. And he probably wouldn't have been saying all the stuff he was saying if he didn't feel safe. So
yeah.
And was that the first broad daylight kill in Scream? Because I know they do it again in 5 with Judy Hicks, but
well, the principal died in daytime at the school.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, but that's alone in his office, though. At least
true.
So that's a little different than like in the middle of like a concourse at a
college. It just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yep. Alrighty, boys. So for me, I'm gonna have to keep the train going. Scream 3.
VHS, nice, love it.
Here.
Welcome aboard.
Going old school, but yeah, I'm with you. This one is definitely the most meta, like trying too hard in my opinion. I do enjoy like the Carrie Fisher parts and seeing her in the movie and them getting that Hollywood vibe to it. But besides that, it's not as exciting. It doesn't really try as much as the other movies to really make you feel as if it's like connected to the Scream movies, because at the end when they change everything up, you're not really believable about how connected things are and how far they've gone to make you believe like, oh, it's Roman, her brother that you never knew about, that's connected to Billy somehow.
That's a good point, Rob.
You know, it's kind of too convoluted in a way that you're kind of like, you don't remember him when you think of who's the best killers out of the Scream franchise. You're kind of like, oh wait, there was Roman in 3. I guess he was okay. And I feel like if there's a good killer, it makes the movie better. Not like, oh, he was okay. But that's what I think about the third one, because besides that, there's not much really going on in it, and I think that's what makes it the worst one.
That's a good point, Rob, about them kind of retconning the history. How do you guys feel about that? With like, Stu and Billy didn't act of their own free will. It was because of this guy. Like, do you like that retcon? Do you think it's okay? Like, do you think it hurts the franchise?
I don't think it hurts the franchise, but it's not my favorite.
No.
Yeah, about that.
I don't think it ruins the other movie. As long as you don't ruin the other movie, but it doesn't add anything of interest.
No, that's exactly. It didn't add anything that made it more interesting. It kind of just made it like, oh, you're adding too much. Like, all right, cool.
Is it just me too that I kind of feel like the actors in the third one, you can tell that they're kind of ready to move on?
Yes, definitely.
The main 3, you mean?
Yeah, the main 3.
Yeah.
I feel like they're ready to move on, which is fine, and you tend to get that in like a third installment. But I feel like they're just kind of like, like what, Nev Campbell was only on set for a couple weeks or
20
so.
days.
Yeah, 20 days. Party of 5 and all these other movies and stuff.
I mean, it's 3 movies in 4 years. I mean, they're got to be burnt out,
Yeah, and plus all the rewrites they had to go through with this movie. So it's still a damn good movie for what we have, or what they had to go through. Yeah,
I do really, really like the last minute or so though with Dewey proposing to Gail. I do like that quite a bit. Hey, sign the book for me, and
that happened in real life too. They got he proposed to her in real life during that film. Yep,
the same exact way.
I hope so.
Should be kind of cool.
Sign this book. Will you marry me?
I like how all their movies kind of mimic their real life relationship too, because they were separated in part 4.
There's a good amount of
and then 5 they were already divorced or whatnot. But
yeah. Well, I think by 4 they were actually divorced, but they somehow wanted to make sure that they worked together. And
their divorce was official in 2012, so they were still in separation.
Okay, because that was 2011. Yep, when that movie came out. Nice.
Alrighty, so let's see what we got here. So we got Rob makes the cut, just saying, "Hey, Rob."
Hey.
Hey everyone. Awesome. So we got Nate saying Rob.
Anyone
We got Basement Blues in the house.
any
What's up,
Oh, love
Tony?
that.
That's awesome.
Holland
We got
Oats.
Hall and
Oh,
Oates
Hollow Notes.
Double Feature Podcast saying
Oh,
hi.
hey.
We got James Mullins saying, let's rank
We
them.
got to rank them up. Okay. Is that
We
Tony?
got
Yeah.
Tony's the man.
Tony is
Basement Blues
Mm-hmm.
saying hi to everybody.
Hey.
Lord Battle saying yo. Where's James C saying 100 with the fire emoji. We got Hall and Oates again saying hey to everybody.
Everybody saying
Double
hi.
Feature Podcast.
He's all around.
Double feature. The sisters killed it on their first
See
live
what else
stream.
They did, didn't
Yeah.
they?
So
It was
good.
great.
Yeah, we got
I
lucky
loved
people in
it. Yep. Yep. I'm looking forward to it too. Movie Junkie John. MJJ. Got
Yep.
it. Mm-hmm.
Trying to get to work over here for me better. Movie Junkie John. Yep. Everybody thinks looking forward to part 6 coming out next week.
Mm-hmm.
We got where's James C saying
Stack.
got a stacked lineup. Great panel. Scream 3 has a lot more comedy. It's a fun one. Love Parker
Yep, Parker
Posey. Yeah,
Posey.
she
Yep,
did it.
that's
She
what I
was a
said.
great job. Yep.
She was
Yeah.
great.
Probably
I
the
like her
best
in
part of
everything.
yeah.
She's
Yep.
love her.
Yep, she's good.
We got mid-level media going in with the Creed.
What
Oh
if?
yes, love that
What
song.
if?
Yep. And the
What a-
music video,
so,
y'all.
so
The
good
music
at that
video was
beginning,
great.
you know.
Yeah, it's at the end of the VHS. Do you remember
Yeah,
that?
it was great. Great. Mhm.
Yeah.
I remember that
It's
video.
like a tie-in, you know.
Hey.
What?
I like
Did anybody
when,
see like Demi Lovato
Crazy.
just did one
Oh, I did. I
Yeah.
saw that. Stay Alive.
where she tied
Mhm.
into Scream 6 and like Ice
Yep.
Nine Kills was in the video and stuff with it.
Oh,
It was
that's
pretty
sweet.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got
I wonder
Nerdy Film
actually
Girl
if,
saying hello, everyone.
Was Creed possibly the like music direction on this? Like they'll hire bands a lot to be like the music direction, because even in Sydney's fake room on the movie set, there's a Creed poster on the wall.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It might have been fans, you know. Everybody's saying hey to Ken.
It was that time. There was a lot of Creed fans out there.
Yeah.
Still are.
Love Parker
Time.
Posey.
I think that's a Creed song. She's good. Love her.
You know, what I just thought of isn't it Parker Posey? She got to be the best part of part 3s of stuff because she was
I
in
told you.
Blade Trinity, which is horrible, and she was the funniest person in that whole entire movie. If I
Yeah, I
remember
mentioned
correctly,
that.
'cause I remember not.
She's
liking it at
great.
all, but-
I like, hey, Dewdrop. I like that guy.
Yeah, Parker Posey was great.
Mm-hmm.
You got the guy who plays Kronk. He was in that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually had him.
Warburton.
Yes, I actually had him sign my Scream mask.
Oh,
And he's-
okay.
That's cool.
And this was about this was last May it was last July, and he was like, "This is the first Scream mask I've signed." I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
Yeah, and they were
Oh,
all
wow.
like looking at the mask because it's signed by other people on the cast. And like, oh yeah, so I don't know if he's going to start doing more conventions,
Nice.
maybe more horror because he had nothing Scream 3 out. So I'm
Yeah.
glad I brought my
Yeah.
masks, and he's like, wow, okay.
Nice.
He was very interested in it.
I was looking.
And that's another thing is people didn't know he was in the movie.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I brought up that. I was like, I
Really?
signed this, and they're like, "Is he in Scream?" I was like, "He's in the third one," and he's like, "Oh, who is he?" And then I was all like, "He was like the the bodyguard," and like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And then, yeah,
I wouldn't doubt if he forgot until you handed the mask.
but his own people, his own people. Yeah, looks like, "Oh wow, I've never signed one of these."
I like that at conventions when you can get them to sign something that they're probably not expecting you to pull out.
Yeah, of course, he had like all Seinfeld tick and stuff like that. But so,
Yeah.
I'm really because I didn't really want him to sign my Scream mask just because it's everyone from the first. So I have everyone from the first one and then him.
Oh, okay.
So I guess it's a little cool. It's still cool to have him on there. But I was like, man, I wish I had something else because I brought it for backup because I wanted to get,
okay.
something Scream as well. But I was like, he has nothing Scream. But little did he know, or little did I know, they weren't even in Scream.
Well, that's
Or,
awesome.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so hopefully now he has stuff at his table at Scream 3.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. So we got James Mullen saying, "Great start, folks. Scream 3 definitely belongs at 5 for sure." Lost River Drive-In. He was supposed to be streaming with us
Yeah,
tonight.
where are you,
I
Mr.
think he had
Loston?
work. Work comes first to everybody.
He's lost at the drive-in.
Okay.
He's lost at the
He's
drive-in.
lost in the drive-in. He sure is. His ranking is
So
one
his
five
ranking.
2 3 4. Okay.
No,
4 is so
definitely
low.
would have been different. Definitely would have been different.
Mm-hmm.
We got double feature showing their ranking. 1, 2, 4, 3, 5.
I like that ranking too.
Yeah.
1, 2,
We got a
5,
Robert
4,
Makes the Cut.
3.
1, 2, 5, 4, 3.
Okay.
My Killer Podcast saying what's up.
What's up, Killer Mel?
We got a Hey Mel. A Hey Girl. Everybody's saying hello. Everybody's saying hello. We got Neve Campbell and Roger L. Jackson signed my Scream Steelbook.
That's
I haven't met. I want to meet
sweet.
Nev. I haven't met her yet.
Yeah.
She came to Monster Palooza and I missed it. I'm so bummed.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see her one day, hopefully.
that's
They were all
sweet.
at Monster Mania last year in Cherry Hill, where I'm from.
Nice. Did
And
you met all of them?
I didn't, because their lines were insanely long, and I also
Oh.
had about a half a dozen other people that I wanted to meet.
Mhm.
So I opted to, and for the sake of time and money, I decided to skip them, because literally, if you were waiting in lines for them, you're waiting.
All
That's
day.
all. That's all you get to do that day.
Yeah.
But Matt Lillard was so super cool, because he would come out of the room where they were signing autographs every so often, and he would come out and like get the crowd all riled
Oh,
up.
I love it.
He's like, "Oh my god,
That's
there he
cool.
is!" And he was just like super cool. Like,
Yeah,
Even
Matthew
though I-
Lillard's the best.
even though I didn't get
Yeah,
to meet
he's
him, I could
sweet.
just tell like he doesn't take for granted, his position at all. So
Mark,
No.
are you contemplating going to a Philly Fan Expo? Because you wouldn't be that far from that.
when is that? I don't
It's
even-
June.
June?
Yeah.
That's a possibility,
Yeah,
honestly.
summer.
It's
got-
pretty far. It's far enough away that I could plan for it for sure.
I got tickets for it. I got tickets to meet Michael J. Fox. I am freaking pumped for that.
Oh,
man.
I'm gonna
wow,
look at,
nice.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Tim, I'll look at who's going to be there and I'll get back to you.
All right.
It's a nice
Yes.
lineup. Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd
so
be
far,
cool to,
they're
it'd be
gonna add
cool
more.
to, and Rob, you're from Jersey too, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
I'm like
that'd be cool.
2 hours from Philly, so it's not too bad.
It'd be cool to meet up with some of you guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
definitely. Alrighty, so
Nice.
let's get to our fourth pick, and we will start off with Terrell again.
All right.
Let's see.
Okay, so I don't know. I went back and forth with this one. I even when you guys were talking. So this one. Okay, I'll just say it. I'm going with Scream 5. Scream 5 is my number 4. So I like this movie. I saw this 3 times in theaters, y'all. 3 times. And when it came out on Paramount Plus, I watched it like another 3 or 4. I love this movie. I love Tara. I love how brutal he was in this one. I love that Snev was back. It's an honor. I was just so excited. Gail. Oh, sadly, Dewey got taken out in this one. That's awful. But I don't know. Scream 5. Okay, so I love the movie, and I was gonna put it higher, but I don't know. I just feel like the other ones for me are a bit stronger of a film. I don't know. So I'm excited for 6 because these new characters that I did grow to love. I do like Tara a lot. Sam, for me, I don't know. She's a cool, like, final girl, the new final girl or whatnot. But I don't know. I just couldn't connect with her too much. She was kind of, like, flat. Even on all the moments where she was trying to be, like super sad, like, oh, my dad is this, and I broke up our mom, and that's why I left. Like, bitch, and she had no emotion. Like, I couldn't connect to that. So I liked Tara because she had emotion the whole way through. She was went up against Ghostface and survived. That's why I'm scared. I was like, is this bitch part of the killing spree? Because how are you gonna live the opener? No one lives the opener. But anyway, but she did. So that was awesome. And the killer reveal was whatever, but it made sense for today because all these toxic fans and shit. I get it, the toxic fandom. Richie and what's her name? Amber being the killers. I like the twins. I like that they connected it to Randy, so he has this little niece and nephew, and I like the whole requel thing. I love how Scream goes with, each movie plays a part of, the franchises or whatnot. Like you have the original, the trilogy, the sequel, the remake, and you have the requel. So I don't know what part 6 is going to be, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. But I don't know. I hope like Scream 5. But I had to sadly put this at number 4, and rest in peace to Dewey, y'all. Rest in peace, because I was sad he got taken out, not with 1 but 2 daggers. That has never happened. 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Great pick. Let's see what Tim has to say.
So I don't have the copy of the movie to hold up right now, so I'll hold up this amazing soundtrack collection.
Well, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really cool. But I'm going with 4 for this.
Okay.
I do like 4, and it is way ahead of its time with what it's going for with technology and stuff. Because think about it, 2011, smartphones were still only a few years in, really, being pretty mainstream. So having the kid live streaming stuff, it was cool. But character wise, I hated Emma Roberts' character, like in general, even before she's the killer. I couldn't stand her character. So the characters are kind of lame. Kirby saves it. Kirby is by far the best character in that movie outside of the core people. It's still fun. It's fun, but if I connected more with some of the other characters and didn't hate Emma Roberts' character, it might be higher, I guess.
Awesome, Tim.
Nice.
Yeah. I love how everybody's mixing it up, you know?
Yeah, here we go. It's not unanimous this
I
time.
was gonna say
Not
this is
even-
where
right.
this is where we're gonna start running into a lot of different opinions.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Let's see, Nate.
all right. I'm going to agree with one of the two guys who just went.
He's gonna say 4, I bet.
I'm going to go with 4.
Oh, I
I'm
knew
gonna go with
it.
Terrell, you know it. Yeah, I'm going to go with 4. I really enjoyed that movie. I saw it at the theater. I remember going to the theater because that came out in 2011.
11.
Okay. Yeah, I was like I was 24 years old in 2011. So I'm like, I feel like I was really prime age to really enjoy that movie. I liked the new cast in it overall. Emma Roberts, I mean, she didn't bother me. I don't think she was a great, Nev Campbell. Sydney was still the main attraction for me, seeing her. I did like the new, I did love Hayden Panettiere Kirby. I thought she was cool. I liked the Culkin, the brother, the younger brother or whatever. Like he was cool. The film kids that are in the class. Yeah, I dug it. I just think it's for a sequel that's like so many years after the movie that came before it. I think they did a really good job as far as tying them together, making it fresh. It was especially coming off, for me, 3, where I was kind of like, not my favorite. This one was like a breath of fresh air, I feel like. And yeah, I dig 4. I think it has some good kills too, compared to like part 3. And Anthony Anderson was in there as the cop, and what was his face? The other guy, Brody, Adam Brody, right? Wasn't he the other guy? Yeah. So like I thought it had a really good cast overall, a good mix of older actors, Marley Shelton, things like that, and then the younger kids I thought were really good in it. So a fun movie. I think it's a lot of fun. So I enjoy that one. Number
Awesome.
Okay.
All
I can't wait to talk about that one.
Definitely.
Stay tuned because I was gonna cut both of y'all off. We'll get into it. I was ready, but no, I'm gonna wait for my turn.
Same. I'm with you. Let's see what dude has to say.
So my number 4 is going to be number 4.
Damn.
I do love this movie. I really do. But it's one of those movies where it's like, I watched 3. The more I watch 3, the more I like 3. The more I watch 4, kind of the less I like 4. I still like it a lot. I love it. And the whole like the way they shot it, because I know Wes Craven wanted to make it look like a reboot remake, kind of like, so they wanted to do like some kind of filter over it that really throws like you forget about it for a while, but it just kind of throws you off, like especially when there's like a light going on. It's like, man, it looks like someone put like jelly or Vaseline over the camera. It's just, I wish they could get rid of that, and I think it might move up on people's lists a little bit. And I know that's weird to say about a movie, but sometimes that can take it out of it for you. But
Okay.
I liked the killers. I really liked I was called Emma Thomas. What's the main girl's name?
Emma Roberts.
Jill.
Emma Roberts. I really liked her when she flipped and then went, batshit crazy.
Yeah,
I like
stay
that.
tuned.
And it was one of those things where they were like, when the movie was coming out, I don't know if people remember this. When the movie was coming out, they were building it up to be a new trilogy. So everyone thought the old characters were going to die, and then these new characters were going to come out as the new leads. And all of a sudden the new leads are the killers. So you're like, wait, what is this trilogy going to be? So I'm very I'm not anxious, but I would love to see what the original, or what the plan was going to be for that trilogy if they wiped out all the new cast and kept the old cast. I didn't know what that was going to be, and I loved how like the Sydney and the Randy were the killers this time. I liked it. I like that, and I believe with Tim, it was way ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it does get a lot more hate than I think it should, but
Yes,
it's
it
going to
do.
land number 4 on my list.
Real quick, I
Awesome.
forgot to mention something that I loved about this movie. I don't know why I thought about it the whole time up to leading to my turn, and then I totally didn't even say it. I love the beginning of the movie with the fake outs
yeah.
where you
Yep.
keep thinking
One of the best.
where
Yep.
you keep thinking this one's
Yep.
killed, and then it's like, nope, it's not, and then you think this one, and like
Yep.
the amount of like young, like kind of hot celebrity girls that were
Yep.
coming up, and I thought it was brilliant because it's like you cannot do the exact same thing that you did already a couple times, and I thought that was a good way to throw people. I remember the theater just like losing it after the second one. People were just like cracking up laughing, and it was a really good experience. So I love the opening scene of 4 as well. I think it's the second best one for me.
Yeah.
See, in me, I feel like I'm the opposite. I thought it was the worst opening.
Yeah, I could see it going either way.
Yeah.
I could totally see it going either way.
Okay.
See, that's why opinions are great. You know.
No,
Everyone's
yeah, I love
different.
this. I like the
I love
difference
it.
because I can't wait
I
till my
love when I
turn.
hear
Because
it.
y'all missed some stuff in that movie. But we can get into it. Y'all missed the point. Let's go.
Let's see what Mark has to say.
So number 4 for me is going to be, I don't have the physical copy. I just got my letterboxed up here. But yeah, number 4 is Scream 2. I don't know if that's a hot take. I think it might be. But yeah, Scream 2. It was so quick after the first movie. Obviously the first one did super well. So they kind of rushed this one out. And I think it kind of shows in the movie. And like Jerry O'Connell, that whole one scene, really bad. I don't really like his character.
Is it the singing? I think I
yeah,
love
that
you.
whole
So what am I?
sequence.
Yeah, that one.
Part,
That was great.
You know, it was all right. But
I'm playing.
so yeah, and I think for me, and what I've found by looking at my list is that these two that immediately follow the first one are my least favorites, and I think it's because they were desperately trying to capture that magic again, and it was a case of diminishing returns for me. But and I think this series works best when you've got a lot of time between each installment, so that you can just have more to say. Like 4 and 5 were so spaced apart that, and I'll get into it later with 4 and stuff, but like there was a lot of stuff happening at that time to talk about, and same with 5, which makes me wonder what the meta-ness of 6 will be, but I guess we'll find out. So yeah, just, and these are 2 and 3. I don't hate them. I don't hate any of these, but I don't love them, or even I would say like them. I think they're just fine. But all the movies after this, I'm a big fan of. So yeah,
Awesome.
number 2.
Yeah, and I'm actually gonna have to say, Mark, I'm with you. I picked number 2 as
Okay,
my number
glad I'm
4.
not alone.
That
Okay.
Derek, the part of Sydney's boyfriend, his singing in that movie, it ruined it for me. Every time
It's
I watched
it's a small
See,
part.
that was the
worse.
Scream 3 vibe, y'all. They had to.
And
It was,
worse.
I don't know. He was professing his love for her. That's not easy to do. Like
It's
he
a-
was in love.
It's
with
a
this
small
girl.
part, and I'm not going to
I'm
say
with
that
Terrell.
like that alone
Yes.
ruins the movie, but it's not something that I'm like, oh, I got to rewatch this. I'm like, oh, I'm going to fast
You
Yeah.
just
forward.
didn't like it.
I got to fast
That
forward.
was
Didn't
great.
like it.
It was. What is it? When it was unpredictable. She did not see that coming. She's going through all her friends are dying. All this shit's happening to her again, and she's a strong girl to go through this shit again after her boyfriend should try to kill her. And you got this guy, which is already weird because her last boyfriend tried to kill her. So this man trying to do something different, and I don't know. I love that part. It was like, I don't know. I'm not into romantic movies, but that was very romantic in my
If
opinion.
I was her, I'd have been like, dude, read the room. People are dying. Like, get off the table.
He was trying to be lighthearted.
This is
Oh
I'm
my
just
not
trying to eat my sandwich here. Get off the
Yeah,
table, please.
this is
And he
not
gave
fun.
her that iconic necklace, the Omega Beta Zeta, and that is epic because that's part of her fucking uniform. In
She
part
still
3,
wears it in
she
3.
still wears it.
Yeah.
Part 4, I think she
Yeah.
still has it. That's an iconic moment, and I love it. And I'll fight y'all for that.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, look,
I think she moved on way too quick. That's way too quick to be dating after your boyfriend tries to kill you.
yeah.
Well, he fought for her, it seems.
Yeah.
And he was very nice. He's a nice guy. You know, I don't
I like
think it would have
that singing.
lasted. That
Yeah.
shit wouldn't have lasted. It was boring. But, you know, sorry
Yeah.
to cut you off.
No, you're good, man. So yeah, number 2. I also have like issues with. You can definitely feel like, because it came out within, I think, a less than a year after the first, that they were definitely grabbing at, the first one was successful, let's make the second one as fast as possible. You feel it in the script, and also like the killers. to me, you don't see Mickey enough. You see him in the classroom, you see him in another clip, and then it's like he shows up, he's the killer. And it's the same thing with Mrs. Loomis, where you see her 3 times, and it's kind of like a red herring thing where you think, and it kind of comes out, but you're kind of like, all right, that wasn't as successful as I wanted it to be. And that's why Scream 2 is my second least favorite, because I want more from the characters that we're trying to figure out, is that the killer, rather than he was in 2 scenes and now he's the killer. I also got the VHS of this one too.
Hey, love it.
Nice.
Yeah, gotta have them. At that time, that these were what the format they came out on.
There's a rumor that one of the killers was supposed to be the Sydney's best friend or
The
Sydney's
roommate. Yep.
Yeah.
Haley.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it was leaked, so they had to
All of
change it
these
last
have
minute.
been.
Mhm.
I feel like all of these have had to been reworked in some form or fashion at some point.
It's got to get harder and harder.
Yeah.
Some of the actors and actresses would say like they wouldn't know till like almost 2 weeks till like the end of casting and all that, and figuring out their lines, who the killer was, because half the time they think that they were. So when they were acting, they kind of acted as if they were the killer to give it that vibe.
That's a good thing. That gets you guessing and gets the audience.
I like that. That reminds
Yeah.
me of American Psycho. Where they're filming. There's one scene, not to go off on a tangent. There's a scene where Willem Dafoe is interrogating Christian Bale, and they took like 3 takes of it, and they put all of them together in editing. Where Willem Dafoe his direction is he knows Bale is the killer. He kind of suspects him, and he doesn't suspect him at all. And they took 3 takes of those, and then they all edited them all together, so you really cannot get a read on what he thinks. That just reminded me of that. It was a little fun fact, but yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's cool.
yeah, I like when they do stuff in movies like that to throw off the audience off.
Mhm.
Awesome. Alrighty. So let's see. We got some more comments. We got Nerdy Film Girl talking about Jersey.
I'm about little over 2 hours, just a tick over 2 hours from New York City / over there.
Oh wow, you can go see Ghostface. Look at you, New York, New Rules. Look at you. You in New York? I didn't know that.
No, I'm in Pennsylvania, but I'm only an hour or less from the border. It only
Got
takes
it.
me-
Oh, that's cool. I've never been to New York. I want to.
It's fun.
cool city.
Nice.
The best.
Scream 5 is good, but main character Sam's acting was bothering us. Jenna
Yes,
Ortega
she
should have
gets
been
what
the
I
lead.
was saying.
Yes.
Boring.
Yes.
So is it weird? So Sam kind of bothered me until she went crazy. Then after that, I was like, oh, I kind of really like her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was weird. Like I don't know.
She,
like,
her
maybe it tells
acting
you a lot about
was
me.
just flat. It was weird. I don't
Yeah.
like.
Well,
yeah.
They
What is-
kind of
what's-
just chose her out of nowhere. They really didn't know anything about her. So I think that's
Mhm.
kind of one of those things, is they really didn't know her acting
And
career.
then she turned into Dexter. She saw her dark passenger in the back seat and shit. Like, it was weird. And I get it.
Didn't they originally want Samara Weaving as the main character in this, but she couldn't do it?
Scheduling conflicts.
So maybe they
Yep.
just had to switch them
Yep.
out real quick,
Yep.
She's
Well-
in the new one though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not like that whole ghost skeet thing. I don't know how you guys feel, but we can talk more about that when we hit 5. But it was distracting.
I have things to say about that, but yeah,
It
it's
was-
coming up.
It was distracting for me.
Well, it was higher on y'all list, so obviously, like, something about that movie.
Yeah,
I'm like,
for sure. It's not that.
I know.
That's all I
all
got to say. Y'all been talking about how bad it is, but y'all got that shit way at the top.
It's all of our number ones.
I know. Y'all okay. I mean, it's a great movie. Let me tell you. I like it. And there's a lot. I didn't get into a lot of the other stuff I liked about it, but I mean, yeah, I can't wait to see what y'all say, because it seemed like y'all did not like that based on what those two that said.
It's kind of crazy though that the 2 reboots both happened 11 years,
of
like 2000 to 2011, and then 11 to 22. That's pretty cool.
And now they
Yeah.
went the other route of Scream 1 and 2, where they're only a year
Yep.
apart.
a year apart. Yep.
Yeah,
So we'll
Yep.
see what happens.
yeah. 4
Double.
did not do well, I don't think, and that's why
No.
we didn't see any for a while after that.
4 is
Yeah.
like a weird stepchild, like it's not gonna fit in anywhere.
Yeah,
just
it's like a
kinda the
middle-
one that gaps them. But I'm
Yeah.
Well, the
glad it's
TV
still in
show,
there,
you had
yeah.
the 3 seasons of a show. Y'all probably didn't watch that, but it was
I
okay.
actually did.
I
I
tried
watched,
it.
I liked it.
I
I
watched
liked
the
it.
first 2 seasons. Probably it's been a while now.
Yeah.
but I remember really liking it.
Yeah, I loved it. I wish they continued that Brandon James storyline. Season 3 was okay, little 6 episodes, but I don't know. I really wanted to see how that ended with the Lakewood 6. Yeah.
Oh snap! They were born and raised in New Jersey too. That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, double feature podcast, born and raised.
Oh wow.
Awesome.
We got
Hell yeah.
Art with his rank 1, 2, 4, 5, 3. We
He's
got
almost-
Mega Mike, the movie man.
Hey,
Mike,
Plenty
don't
of
say
streams
that.
I like.
Don't
I'll be right back. He won't be back. All right, y'all.
No, well, it was nice knowing you, Mike. Take it
Yeah,
easy.
never see him again.
Take it easy, Mike. Awesome. So we got our third favorite now. Let's see.
Oh wow, we on number 3, guys. All right, y'all having fun so
Number
far?
3.
This has been great.
I hope so. Okay, so we're gonna get into the top 3. Okay, I guess I'm first. All right, so y'all had a lot to say about this movie, but I'm going with Scream 2 as my number 3. So the opener for this is insane. They open up with Miss Jada Pinkett and her man. She wanted to go see Sandra Bullock, but he wanted to go see Stab. So they go to this, and it's a whole theater. It's like heaven for me. That'd be awesome, right? Not getting cut the fuck up, but it's like so cool. Everyone's dressed up, super excited for this movie. They all got costumes on, and it's in an open environment. You feel safe, right? No, this bitch got stabbed 27 times or some shit. I don't know, but that's the opener. You know, I used to love Jada Pinkett. That's what happened with this Will stuff. But and then it gets into, I am a huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, so I was extremely excited to see my girl Sarah Michelle Gellar, Cece. She was in that film class. I was living for every moment. She was in the sorority and shit. But they didn't really show to me them scenes. Deleted scenes. Check his Blu-ray. And then Omega Beta Zeta. Again, she was at she had her phone call. She had a chase scene. I love a good chase scene. This one had chase scenes. Sydney got chased. She got chased. It was cool chase scenes. That car scene with the two fucking security guards. One is gay. Remember they crashed. The thing went right through his head. There was gore. There was a lot of kills in this one. This one's exciting for me. It was scary. I remember seeing this in the drive-in with my family. I sat right in the front at a young little boy. And I was just so into this. And I was gagged, gooped, and I didn't really get it too much. But Billy's mother being the killer, very Mrs. Voorhees, revenge. You killed my son, bitch, I'm gonna get you. Right? And no one knew. She came up, Miss Debbie Salt. She was fucking with Gail the whole movie. Oh, no, this is my favorite movie with Gail's hair. I like the red streak. She was giving me everything I needed. And I like when Sydney went to go talk to her, and Bill Bellamy was recording it, and then they talked, and Sydney knocked the bitch out again. And then the girl, Haley's like, did you catch that on film? He said, yes, I got it. It was amazing. This movie is so much fun. I don't know why it was so low on people's list. And I don't know, it showed how much Sydney is as a fighter. Like that scene is so important when she talked to her teacher and how he told her, you're a fighter, and she repeated it. I felt that shit. I am so sorry. And I like the final scene, her fighting back with what's her name? And then Cotton, he wanted to be a fucking star. And at the end, she gave it to him. She's like, oh, that's your final boy, whatever. She, and all the little, the people with all the cameras went to him. I don't know. Scream 2 was amazing. Sorry, I'm rambling. But that's my number 3. Sorry.
Awesome.
I do like the one scene in that where they have to crawl over him out of the
Yeah, the crash.
very
That's
Yeah.
a great scene.
That was so good. A lot of
And the
people-
cop's hand twitching is like.
There's like really good
Yes,
suspense.
that
in
gore was so good, and I don't think 5 and 3 had something like that. In my opinion, that was that like I don't know. It's intense. I don't know, but y'all can get into that when y'all get to 5. But yeah, sorry, it took up a lot of time.
Awesome. It's great to hear. I love to hear the differences, you know.
Yes.
Let's see what Tim now has to say.
I'm going with 5.
Nice.
I just so happen to pick the ones that are 11 years apart. This one just, I guess, got me more excited after I watched it than 4. So which is part of the reason I put it up above. It's fucking brutal. Absolutely brutal. Dewey gets it the wrong way. But I enjoyed it a lot. I find myself not liking it the more I think about it, but still more than 4, if that makes sense. I kind of think about the franchise. 3 is definitely lowest. Then I got 4 and 5 are in their own tier, and then the other 2 are like way, way above, if that makes sense. But really, really dug it. Still, Radio Silence did a great job. Hopefully, they kill it with 6 also. But yeah, my main nitpick is the killers are so drastically different in height, and that is not addressed at all. Ghostface is the same height across the board, but I mean, she's so short compared to what's his name,
Richie.
Jack Quaid,
Adam Quaid.
Richie.
Adam Quaid, yeah, whatever. But they're way different in height. So that's weird as hell. Because I think it's supposed to be the girl is the one that killed Dewey, right?
She
According to
said
like,
that.
yeah.
Mhm.
Really, she put 2 knives into him and lifted him off the ground. I mean, I'm not sure about that one, but
She probably lift weights. She be doing her thing. She was supposed to be a lesbian. Remember, she's supposed to be Tara's girlfriend. That was her characters when they were all released. But when the character synopsis
Oh,
of
yeah.
characters, she was supposed to be dating Tara, but they cut that out. That's at the beginning. They call it, oh hey Amber, Tara, let's hang out, have a little sleepover. They were having a sleepover, all right. But that they didn't get into that. They cut that out. So maybe she did. She had power. Yeah. Very much that.
Lifted.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
possible.
Sure.
You never know.
I'm gonna agree with Tim on this one. It ain't happening, but that's okay.
She could have had stilts or something. You know?
Yeah, or done
platform
like just
shoes,
hella
maybe.
steroids right before and was just like in a roid rage. Just I'm gonna pick you up via
Adrenaline.
knife. Okay.
It was adrenaline.
Yeah.
She got knocked the fuck down. I don't know. I'm just trying to make it sound right. I don't know.
Yeah, for some reason
I
when it
like
comes-
the movie.
Yeah, when it comes to Scream movies, I don't really like, like, yeah, if you sat there and thought about, oh, well, that's impossible, it just takes away from
There'd
the
be
movie.
a
Like,
lot.
It'll take
I-
away from the entertainment.
Yeah,
Uh-uh.
so when I'm watching these ghost faces running around, flying into, end tables and stuff like that, it is I just disbelieve. I'm like, okay, that's doable. That's doable. That person got hit in the head with 30 bottles and still running. Like I just kind of like, that's just what happens.
Yeah.
And when they take off the mask and it's a small Emma Roberts, I'm just like, well, I just
Exactly. Same
I just
shit.
go with it. I go with
Uh-huh.
the flow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh yeah.
If they didn't make it a point to say that she was the one in that scene, I think it would play a lot better. And I also think that because this series is so grounded, for me anyway, it's so grounded in reality that when you do stuff like that, it kind of, that's why I understand people who definitely don't like stuff like that. Because people who make movies now should know that everyone is going to, especially horror fans, because horror fans are passionate. So they will dissect things, left and right and just do a full autopsy on like scene breakdowns and everything. So it seems like an oversight to me, but it doesn't bother me a ton personally, but I get why it's been nitpicked to death.
Yeah, I also could see there, like either in Scream 6 or Scream 7, I'm sure there will be a Scream 7, that I have a feeling they might reveal that there was another killer in Scream 5.
I would like that.
And maybe that's the person who killed Dewey.
I would like if they started doing stuff like that in this franchise, because every one of them's kind of like it's a closed book, like there's not really a lot of like bleed over into the other ones. I guess maybe Roman with the Billy and Stu, but like that seems more like a retcon and not something that was planned out. If they started planning stuff out I would like to see stuff like that because that's not something we get a lot in Scream. So I would like if they did that.
Here's something. This isn't nitpicky, but so many of the movies have 2 killers. How do you think that comes about where the 2 people are just chilling around and they're both like, you want to kill a bunch of people? Yeah, let's fucking slaughter them. Like,
Because
how does
Well, they kind of explain it in each
that
one.
could go really poorly. You'd be like,
Yeah.
no, are you going to kill a bunch of people? Because now I feel like I need to call somebody.
Like, I feel like 1, it played out better, but like, so 4, whatever the hell his name is, the Culkin and Emma Roberts, like
Charlie.
they were in different circles. What was the scenario that they're both like, this is the time, let's kill a bunch of people? Like, I'm just wondering how that scenario works out.
They
Weren't they
conveniently
dating?
never show that part of the show. Or
Well,
the movie.
I think they started dating after they decided to kill a bunch of people. I don't. That's the gist I
Usually
got.
what I do.
He
Sorry.
thought they were dating, but if you asked her,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
probably that was my read on it. She was just using him.
Alrighty. We're having fun talking, but let's see what Nate rates at his 3.
All right.
Let's see.
Um,
It's time.
okay. My number 3, Terrell, you got to guess. You got it right last time.
It's 5. I already
It's
know.
5.
Keep it moving. It's 5.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's 5. It's 5. Now, I don't. Everything you guys have said is very interesting to me. With this movie, there's like the things that kind of bug me about it. First of all, I like it. I think it's good. I think it's good as far as a requel goes. But the stuff that kind of annoys me, I haven't really heard mentioned too much, or it may not annoy everybody else. So, as far as the only reason it's not higher, I don't love a lot of the new characters in this movie. Like just I'm not crazy about most of them. I pretty much showed up for Dewey, Gale, and Sydney because that's
Ooh.
who I grew up watching. And then, you're giving me these new people. Okay, then they got to be interesting. I do agree with pretty much what everyone said about Sam. The only other movie I saw her in was In the Heights, and it's like a musical. So, it's not even like this kind of movie. She was okay in that. Jenna Ortega's cool. I'm not like on the huge bandwagon for her. Like she's good. She's good. Don't get me
She's
wrong.
great.
Yeah, but like it's whatever. And then the other kids, like I didn't really care about any of them. So I wasn't crazy. And the one person that bugs me, and this is I did not like her at all, was Amber. That actress.
She was barely in it.
No, but I don't like the actress at all.
Oh, I don't
didn't
even know
her
what the
in
fuck she
Once Upon a
plays
Time
in.
Hollywood. I didn't like her in
I never
this.
seen that. Okay.
She bothers me. So it's a personal thing. Like I think I don't like the way she kind of like overacts to me in everything she's in.
Yeah.
And it kind of is grating to me. So when she's revealed and she's like, she's doing all this twitchy, like, it worked in another movie that I haven't talked about yet a little bit. And in this one, it just didn't work for me. I thought Jack Quaid was cool. Like I was okay with him. Dewey, he was great. I think David Arquette was great in this movie. Like acting wise.
Mm-hmm.
I thought his performance was great, especially a guy, like an actor who's what is he? He's known for Scream and then like not really, Eight-Legged Freaks and Ready to Rumble and stuff like that. So, he's not that guy, and I feel like he really did the thing in this movie as far as acting. You know what I mean? Like he did a great job. I thought Nev Campbell was great, but I wish she was more the focus. I get why they did what they did, but that's just me. Overall, though, the reason it's third over 4 is I agree with Tim. I think I like the brutality of a lot of the kills in this movie. It feels aggressive. It feels mean. And, it added a little bit of that it's not super gory, but it just like kind of hits hard when they kill people.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that aggressiveness about it. And most of the stuff with the meta, dialogue, most of it worked for me. I thought it was good, but to a dude who loves movies, to your point about 4, how you feel about 4, I haven't rewatched 5 in a while, but I feel like the more I do, the less I would like it. I don't know if this one is like super high replay value for me, so I don't revisit it. Like I saw it at the theater last year, and I'm probably gonna watch it this week before the new one, but I haven't really rewatched it too much because I don't know if I will like it as much. So I don't know how it'll hold up on multiple rewatches. But for now, I have it at 3. A 4 could jump it. Honestly, I could watch it one more time and be like, actually, I like 4 better.
Yeah. Good stuff, Nate. Alrighty, so let's see what Dude Who Loves Movies has at his third.
So my number 3 is going to be Scream 5. Scream 2022. I really love this movie, and I'm actually someone who liked Mikey Madison in the movie. But it was one of those things where it's the things I didn't like is I knew who the killers were right off the back. It was very easy because I was watching an interview with Mikey Madison, and she was very sweet and soft spoken. I was like, wow, she can really turn crazy, like, in a snap of the fingers, because she does in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna watch her. So I watched her the whole time. And Richie, even the teaser poster with Richie, he looked like a killer. So and they really played that I've never seen any of these movies, I gotta watch them now. Like when there's a lot of killers going on, I don't know if I'm going to have time to really watch these movies, even though it might help. So I thought that was kind of weird that they focused on that. But I know that the team wanted to really give this one for Wes, so they're trying to keep it closer to his formula, to where I think 6 now they're going to open it up a lot more to do more of what they want to do, and hopefully, like, I hope it's like I don't mind if they do something different. I just don't want it to be weird different, like I don't want it to be like he's back from the dead or someone's back from the dead for real, like something like that. Like in I'll always know what you did last summer, the third one where it was a spirit or whatever. But I liked it. And another thing, like I said, it was the killers were very easy to spot right away. But for me now, when I watch Scream, it's not really about the killers. It's more about the why. And I like the why. I like the 20 minutes of them explaining their monologues of why they did it, why they didn't. And I love that they went back to Stu's house because I love Stu. And the whole bringing What's,
Stu back.
no, not Stu.
I don't want him back.
Them bringing Billy back for the whatnot. Like it is a little weird, but I liked seeing him again. So I'm okay with it. I can overlook that. You know, the Scream fans want something different. That was different, and a lot of people didn't like it. I'm okay with it. The only thing I don't want him to become like this kind of hero.
Ghost mentor.
Yeah,
The Dark Passenger, Dexter. I told y'all.
Yeah, I don't want him to do that because he kicked this whole thing off, you know, basically. So I want him to stay evil Billy. You know, I don't want him to really. So hopefully, maybe in the new one, she's, I have a feeling he might be in it, but maybe he'll be less and less, and she's able to work through her issues to get him out. But I liked it overall. I wasn't a big fan of the new cast either, but I loved Dewey in it. I thought he did an absolute great job, and I loved his little fight scene, death scene. I thought that was amazing. Yeah, I do love this movie, but it's my number 3.
Does it bum anyone else out though that Dewey and Gale didn't really get that final at peace together?
Did though.
Well, I didn't know. I mean, yes, yeah. But I don't know. I wanted more of an at peace than that little conversation.
But sometimes in life you don't get that. So
yeah, I know. But we're with these characters for 5 movies, and
I was more bothered that they didn't have a scene with him and Sydney together.
Yeah, it was just like a phone call.
Yeah.
And like the way they set things up, you can tell who's gonna what's gonna happen. Like he was like the way Dewey was talking to everyone on the phone and this and that, and then so it's like okay, something's gonna happen to Dewey. But I loved it, and another thing I really liked. A lot of people don't like this part, but I liked that they killed the sheriff on her front porch in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I thought
lemon bars.
Yeah,
they showed it.
I thought that was so brutal and so like up yours police department. Like I'm going to kill you in broad daylight in the front. You kill Wendy Peppercorn from
Wendy Peppercorn.
Yeah, Wendy Peppercorn from the Sandlot.
Damn.
Yeah.
Throwback,
definitely. Alrighty, so let's see what Mark has at his 3.
I'm starting to detect some similarities.
Y'all all picking the same thing.
Number 3 for me is 5. This was like I was saying earlier, I liked when this one came along. Like I think these movies work best when there's a lot of time in between them, so you have just more things to talk about. And I liked the commentary here with toxic fandom and just how. And it's funny because you see people talking about the things that they're talking about in this movie, like online, and they'll be talking about Scream, and it's like, dude, did you watch the movie? Like, we've went over this, and it's funny how some people still will be like that, even after having such a light shown on it. But yeah, I like this one, like we were saying, is very much maybe not playing it by the books or playing it too safe, but it's thematically appropriate because it is supposed to be like this reboot cool thing that we're doing now, where it's, give them what they know, and change it just a little bit, but ultimately it's, beat for beat Scream. And so I like that, but then they also do things like having Jenna Ortega survive the opening scene. So it's like we're doing the opening scene again with a pretty similar situation with
she got fucked up. Badly.
And I like but then they're like, oh, but she survived. So I liked how they did things. They did things enough to subvert your expectations while also paying tribute to Wes in that first movie. So the killer reveals, I like Jack Quaid. He's very charismatic, and but then with Mikey Madison, it's like, oh, this seems too obvious. There's no way she's the killer. She's like just radiating killer energy, but she was, and so I felt like that was sort of like maybe they're doing like you don't think she'll be the killer because it's so obvious, so then you won't see it coming when she is. I don't know. They're doing some kind of mind game there to maybe make it seem less obvious, because after a while, after doing so many of these, you have to keep doing things to keep people guessing. But yeah, Scream 5, I really like this one. and I mean, we're really looking forward to Scream 6. So
Me too.
No,
I do. I
yeah.
do have a big gripe I have, and I don't know about if you guys know what this is, but in all the Scream movies, it's like anybody is a suspect. But in Scream 5, it's always somebody you know. So it's only like 4 people it could be. Like I didn't feel like I was like, there's no way any of like the older characters are going to be
yeah,
killers. So it's like it could only really be the new anyone from the there's going to be 2 out of the 4. So it's like it was very easy to pinpoint.
there's more than 4 of them. You've got
Yeah, but I feel like there was not that much risk. Like it was very easy.
true.
Like all the other ones feel broader. It's like, oh my god, it could be the guy running the cash register.
Outside of just the friend
Yeah,
group. I know what you mean.
Yeah, and this
Yeah,
one it made you. They're like, no, it's going to be someone in this friend group. So it's like, oh, okay, and they kept putting at
And they
it.
did that poster where it says the killer is on the poster, and it had the whole cast.
Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
very
That's pretty
cheeky. I like
Mhm.
that. They were like,
I like that poster.
yeah, that's cool.
yeah, it's composer.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna once again keep the train going. We got Scream 5.
Hey.
I do enjoy this movie. When this came out, I thought it was a fun one to see in the theaters. I think I saw it 3 times.
Yep. Me too.
So the things I don't like are the main cast that you get with all these new characters. I don't find them as much fun as the originals, or even like people even from 3 or 4. I find them to be very throwaway because you have like Wes, who's supposed to like Wes Craven that they bring in, and he gets killed right off the bat. You don't really get a story from him, but you know he's Hick's son, and that connects to 4. And then some of the other characters, they're trying to make you think they're the killer, but you kind of are figuring it out like, oh, that's just a red herring. But there are some things I do like the beginning where they don't kill Jenna Ortega, which kind of makes you think, could she be connected? And they finally doing that some type of different thing with 5 to the new one, where it's that open door thing where they're bringing someone from that movie and they are a killer that's connected to this next movie, but you didn't realize it because you weren't thinking that, like, oh, she didn't die at the beginning, so how do we not know that maybe it was a setup to make you think that she was someone who was attacked by the killer? But who knows? So I kind of like that at the beginning, where it kind of keeps you thinking, but then when you do see her in the hospital, you're like, all right, whatever. I like Richie in it, but I don't like Madison. I forget the girl's name.
Madison. Amber.
Yeah, Amber in it. I don't care for her because of the whole where you see her where she's short, and then the killer who kills Dewey is definitely tall, but you know it's not Richie because Richie couldn't be there at that point in time.
He was in the elevator with Sam and Tara.
Exactly.
Yep.
So that doesn't tie in. But I do like the scene where you see him sitting with the laptop and he's watching like the dead meat, and you see the thing with Kirby kind of connecting everything.
The Easter eggs, yep.
The Easter eggs are always fun, and I feel like there was a lot of those in this movie.
Tatum's ashes, that was cool to see.
Yeah, that was awesome. I like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I got to meet Heather Matanzaro, who was in the 3rd one that connected.
Oh, she's
this,
awesome.
Where she was Randy's sister. So that was really cool to meet her and talk to her about like, you know, how was it with Scream? And she was like, it was always a blast because everybody was like a family, you know.
Yeah,
that was cool. But yeah, definitely Scream 5 at my 3 because I do enjoy it. It is definitely one of the bloodier of the Scream movies, and the killers are aggressive. But yeah, Scream 5 at my 3, or people just scream.
Mm-hmm.
I know they were trying to do the whole like where Halloween did it, where it was Halloween 2018, but it was Halloween.
Yeah,
Candyman is Candyman.
Yep.
Yeah,
I thought that was clever. I like that.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
well, it's kind of like, oh, it's a new generation. Here's
Mhm.
our Scream. You know, this new beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But let's see. Let's see what these comments are saying.
I'll be right back, guys.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He would say, "I'll be right back." I just missed that. I was zoned out. He showed
I
me.
know.
He ain't coming back, y'all. I was like,
I was like, oh, okay, so yeah. As soon as
I
someone's
said
like,
the
all
joke
right.
earlier. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll be right back. Oh my god.
Alrighty, so we got Nerdy Film Girl saying, can we all agree that the studio just should have paid Nev properly so she would come back? She is the Jamie Lee Curtis to the Halloween franchise. I can't imagine she asked for a crazy paycheck.
I have a feeling she'll be back. I have a feeling.
Yeah, probably part 7.
I feel this could be a setup to, you
they'll
know,
want her back.
make people get to the theater like, oh, it's not gonna have her in it, but let's see how it is without her. And then people go and it's like, oh, there she is. That's the surprise,
I really
do
don't
feel
think
like-
she's in it, but
Yeah. Six has a lot going on, though. I don't know where
Yeah.
she would fit in what's going
Yeah.
on. I do like that Six takes place on Halloween. I like holiday horror, and I love
Mhm.
that. And I love that teaser they did when they're all in the subway and everyone's dressed up like as different costumes and
Yeah.
shit. That's terrifying. You don't know who in here is the killer, and I like that. And it didn't have any spoilers. So I haven't been watching the trailers because they got too much spoilers and shit.
Too much.
But I
And
want to
in
be
New York-
surprised.
And in New York, there's some weird stuff going on all the time, and people just
Mhm.
walk right past. You just
Oh,
don't.
really?
Yeah, you just walk past. It's just a normal
You just
day.
said earlier that New York was nice.
It is nice, but you get-
Not always
it's
nice.
fun
There's
to
a
be.
lot.
just-
There's a lot.
It's fun to be,
of people
especially
there.
yeah.
You know? Yeah.
What I'm saying is, you could be.
I
stabbed
get
up in
you. I
Times
was just
Square
being
and no one
funny.
would know.
I actually did come back.
You think
Hey,
it's a
you're
bum?
back. You ain't
think-
dead. You stabbed.
It's
You
because
think
he's
it's
the
a
killer.
bum sleeping
I
on
wish
a
I
train?
could have had a ghost face mask to wear when I came back in.
You
this
should
town.
have. You probably the killer. You
That
gonna
would have
kill
been
us.
so funny.
I don't want to die first.
You and Nick at the Lost River Drive-In are the killers in the stream.
Oh yeah, that's why he's not here.
Oh, he's
Yep.
gonna
Just
come
gonna
in at
pop
the very
up.
end.
Mhm.
That may
Alrighty.
I like that.
Movie Junkie John says you may be surprised by Scream 6 at Nerdy Film Girl.
Oh, he must have seen it, or she. Or
Must
whatever
have
that
seen
is.
it. He knows something. I don't want to be listening.
Yeah. Move past.
She's
that one.
strong. She eats her vegetables. Must be talking about Nev or
No, Amber.
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 Yeah.
Yep, picking up Dewey.
Picking up 200-pound dudes with a knife.
She ate her spinach, y'all. She Popeye the Sailor Girl.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
Double features said agreed. Nerdy Film Girl. She should have been paid for her value. She was the face behind the franchise. Glad that she
agree.
stood her ground regarding her worth. Yeah, definitely. If that's the case, because even throughout the series, she's been a strong character. One of probably my favorite final girl of any of.
Same.
the
Yeah, she's had to
franchises.
survive 9 different characters or 9 different killers, and she still has this
Yeah,
positive
friends
attitude.
and family trying to kill
Yeah.
her, and she is sane. She's not crazy in the cuckoo house.
Yeah.
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 Talk about a
her
strong
that.
character.
Mhm.
No, like narratively, I don't need her in these, but
It's nice to have her.
yeah, for sure. And I also support her just saying like, okay, well, I'm not going to be in your movie then,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because she is this movie's Jamie Lee Curtis, So
Mhm.
like, and I don't know numbers, but like for them to not give her what she was asking for
Yeah.
seems a little
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I have a feeling Paramount was like, "Oh, we have Courtney Cox for this one. We don't need Nev."
Dude,
Kim." That's how I
not
feel.
here.
That's how I
She
feel.
is-
I like Gail. Do y'all think Gail's gonna die?
I
don't.
hope so.
I
do.
don't think so. I don't.
I
think
hope
this
she
one.
doesn't. I'm gonna
Maybe
cry.
the next one.
I
I'll
think
be
she's
done.
the weakest
Same.
of the 3 by
Oh,
far.
I love Gail. I like her sassy attitude. I'm so sorry. Maybe we're from different
Yeah,
plots, but I like
Personally,
me some Gail. I'm
Dewdrop.
sorry.
I do as well.
Dewdrops, baby. Come on.
Gail is my favorite of the core 3.
Thank
so-
you. Oh, Tim, I
Really?
like you. Yes.
Over Sydney? That's
Yes, Gail is everything. I can't wait to see what outfit she got this time. Every movie got different colors, so we can
Yeah.
see.
Hopefully they give her more to do in 6.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
hoping.
I
With
like
a lot of
her.
the shots on her in the one trailer, there's like a lot of shots on her. So I'm hoping she gets a
Oh, I
bigger
didn't watch
part in
that.
this
All
movie.
those. Oh.
No,
Yeah,
I'm-
but it's a lot of shots
One.
on her in one scene. So I
Yeah,
don't
one
know.
scene.
Yeah.
so-
I don't-
Yeah. That's We'll see.
I
if
like
she
though
makes
that,
it
that
up.
Gail is strong and independent and doesn't take shit from anyone. Like
Nope.
in
she
4, Dewey keeps trying to push her out of it. And she's like, "Fuck that! I'm investigating this."
Yeah.
And she did it
She
on
didn't
her
care.
own. She went to that
Yep.
stabathon and almost got stabbed up on. But she did her thing. I love her. I'm sorry.
almost a
I
stab
love her
on.
too.
I love her. Hard copy saying, as much as Neve is so integral to the franchise, I don't see her absence changing the bottom line at the box office for Scream 6. Horror can be
Not
a
wrong.
funny genre in that way. Oh, yeah, definitely. I feel like a lot of remakes, even when they don't bring back the main character, they still do well because horror fans are going to go out and watch horror movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and
people
then
are excited about this one.
we've got Jenna Ortega in this one, who's a much bigger star than when 5 initially
came
came out, and
out.
Samara
Yep.
Weaving. I mean, probably not a big box office draw for most, but like horror fans are gonna want to see what they do
Yeah.
with her, for sure.
And the promo's been
don't know.
amazing for this film. The promo's insane. So they're really
So
they're trying to
much.
yeah. hmm
Planting people in Ghostface costumes just out in,
Yes,
like,
on
LA
corners
stuff.
and shit. Yes.
Wild.
I
That
will
freaked
six,
me out.
6 has the potential to be like my second favorite if they like really do some of the stuff that I want them to do. Just it has the potential to be so different. And we
The
could
city
say,
can be a whole character in itself, you know.
yeah, we could talk
Mhm.
Scream 6 a little bit at the end, I guess, if you guys want. We can
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
That'd be fun.
keep this
So
thing
let's
rolling
see.
on.
Double feature saying definitely agree with you, Nate. We weren't invested in any of the new characters.
Something I want to bring up too, even though it's kind of ancillary to the franchise, but does it bug anyone else that for most of the merchandise they get licensed from the company that owns the mask, so they only call most of the merchandise Ghostface? Most merch
Yeah,
doesn't say
that
Scream.
bothers me. Yes,
That bugs
Yeah.
the hell out of me.
bothers me as well.
Well,
Yep.
they got to get their coins too, because that's where it came from.
Yeah,
Yeah, but if they
I always say
license
work
from the
together, you
studio,
know?
they can use the name Scream. But
Mhm.
most of this shit, like especially Spirit Halloween,
And it's all the
everything just
same.
says-
It's all this logo. It's all the same
Yeah.
logo, basically,
Yeah.
almost.
You got to get custom stuff like Graveyard Goods, Gutter Garbs, place like that. That they
Well,
will
yeah.
put like Scream on it rather
Love
than
Gutter Garbs. That's my,
yeah,
one of my
like
Mhm.
I love
This is, I
Gutter
think,
Garbs.
See, yeah, and Tim has a Scream shirt on, a legit Scream shirt on, but it's not Ghostface, so that they're able to do that. This is
Yeah,
from
yep.
Etsy, so they're able to have
Yep.
Ghostface and Scream. That they don't have to pay two different people. So
well, they talked about that when they went to get the mask for the original movie. They had to figure out how to get in contact with Fun World because they were trying to create all these masks, but realized it was not as good as the one that they found in that costume store, you know. But yeah, awesome. Let's see.
And it all worked out.
It really did because I
Mhm.
feel like that's like a lot of times how it works is just grab something and try it out, and that's like Halloween. They just found
William Shatner
a
mask.
Shatner mask, painted it white, and called it a day.
So does Fun World get a check every time they make a Scream movie, or how does that work?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
definitely,
they
yeah.
Okay,
own that
good.
mask.
Because I hope they're getting their due diligence because
Yeah, definitely.
I shudder to think like what does Scream look like without that mask? Like the
Yeah.
two,
So
the two are so
yeah. So like what Tim was saying, so when you go to like Hot Topic and you see all this Ghostface stuff, that's Fun World getting all that. That's nothing
Good.
to do with Paramount or anything like that.
Good.
That's why it says Ghostface and not Scream. And I
Yeah.
wish we could get some Ghostface stuff with the Scream name on it, but it's just
True.
it's not coming out.
I'm just glad Fun World is getting
They
their
were
Because
smart
that-
enough to be like, hey, you can have. That's why the Scream mask was different in the first two seasons because Fun World wasn't involved.
Oh,
They couldn't
that
get
makes
Fun
so
World.
much sense now. I was like,
Mhm.
maybe they just
The
want to be
Brandon
different.
James mask.
Like,
Mhm.
Yep.
but no, they actually that makes sense.
So they had to go with the whole story of making it different to figure out how to use the Ghostface mask. What's cool is if you ever watch the documentaries, they talk about how the guy who owned Fun World was like this laid back country guy who they called him and he was like, if you just put my Fun World in the credits, I'll let you use the mask. And then after each movie, they were granting him more money because he was making, and the Fun World was creating all this different Ghostface stuff and putting it out. And they're really the ones that have been putting things out over the years to keep that image, out. And it's
Yeah, and
pretty
that
cool
costume
because
is so popular. When I was a kid, I was Ghostface at least 3 years in a row, and a
Same.
lot of people were. So
Most
I feel
people.
like they got their money. Like,
Yeah. There were
Yeah.
so many variations of it too.
Yep.
Like
And that's why they don't completely sell to whoever owns the movie rights,
Yeah.
Yep. Alrighty, so we have Bob saying, "Hey everyone, just dropped in to say hi."
Hey,
Rob,
Bob.
you have a great
Bob.
group of guys on the panel.
Mhm.
Some of my favorite people on YouTube. Scream if the goat. Have a good night.
Yeah, it's one of his
he's
favorite
like in
movies
and
of all
out.
time.
Same here.
Yeah. Yep. Then we have James saying, "Cody pinpoint. We knew Dewey was going to die the way it was set up. Yeah, it definitely felt that way.
I
The
felt like
film
it
was very
needed to be done though. I do. Like I felt like
It
it was
did. One of them.
it was the gut punch the franchise needed.
And he's come so close to dying so many times.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I think it completed his character arc to have him dying to save other victims, because he felt so. I mean, I think that's part of why he never left Woodsboro is because he just felt responsible for, this being he's not the sheriff anymore, but he still wants to do his part, if something were to happen.
Yeah, it drew him back because he did
Yeah.
leave. He left to New York with Gail, but then that didn't work out for him, so he went back to Woodsboro.
Yeah, he could
became-
never really
Yeah.
separate the place from himself.
Yeah.
What's pretty cool is if you listen in the newest one,
Mhm.
they talk when they're on the phone. She says she's married to Mark, who was her love interest in the third movie.
Yeah.
The guy from
Kincaid.
Grey's Anatomy, and that's pretty
Yep.
cool because it's like they have
Patrick
2 kids
Dempsey.
and all this.
Harry Dempsey, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty, so we also have Hall and Oates saying reboot.
Would be cool.
James saying
Ruby.
Rob Knapp again. Congrats on starting your first stream. More to come, definitely.
Yeah,
It's
congrats.
been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll come back on anyone that you
Oh,
care to do, Rob.
Awesome.
Oh yeah,
Glad to have you,
tomorrow.
you know.
Yes, Sue. Stay tuned.
Movies and Sue saying what's up,
Mhm.
everyone? Just finished Scream 4. Terrell can't wait for our live tomorrow night.
Yes.
Everybody, go check out Terrell. He always does
Mhm.
great live streams. He's got
Thank
great
you.
stuff on his channel. Check him out.
Mhm.
We got Rob makes the cut. LA is crazy. Brian goes blue.
What's up,
Hi.
How's
Brian?
it going? Great to see you,
Oh,
Brian.
Brian.
Hall
Nice.
Notes. Yo, Brian. We got Mama Blu-ray
Mama
in
Blue.
here.
I love her
Blu-ray.
too. Nice.
She's great. Yep, always
Mhm.
in the streams.
Mhm.
We got saying hey Sue.
Yeah.
We got Brian saying hey Holland. Everybody saying hi to each other. It's great to see.
Nice. I like that.
The
That's what I
lovely
love in this
community
community.
we've got.
Mm-hmm.
Robert saying I also have a NECA Ghostface signed by Roger
Oh,
L.
that's
Jackson.
That's cool.
Nice. Nice.
I got the NECA, but it ain't signed, so that's pretty cool.
I know. I got the NECA too. I need to get my shit signed. I haven't met him yet. That'd be awesome.
And that NECA, I guarantee you, says just Ghostface, no Scream on it, correct?
Probably.
I don't remember the boxed one. I think it screams. Oh, actually, I don't.
It's
yeah,
gonna
I
say
think you're
just
right.
Ghostface, yeah.
Uh huh. I'm gonna go look at that one.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that in a
It's
second.
just like in my hat. It's just Ghostface, no Scream.
Yeah.
I mean, to get Scream and Ghostface, you have to pay a license to both companies,
Both,
and
so
yeah,
It's
why do you
more
want to
money.
do that?
I never thought about that until this stream tonight, and that
Yeah, me neither.
I didn't really connect the dots there. That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Dude is smart.
It's wild. Alrighty, so let's get to our number two.
two.
Let's start out with Terrell once
All
again.
right. Moment of truth, y'all. My number 2. Again, all these movies are great. Every last one of them. But my number 2 is going to be Scream 4. So, y'all were trashing this. This is very low on everybody's list, but this is a high on mine, and we don't get into it. So, I had a conversation with it when we had to rank like the killers of Scream, right? And Billy was my number 1, and I said Jill is my number 2. Why? Because this bitch is crazy. So going into this, I was super excited. I went to the midnight show, packed theater. Everyone was so into it, and it was midnight showing back when they did that. Now it's like a Thursday thing, but it was great. So going into this 2011, and I thought this was because apparently this is supposed to be a new trilogy, like we mentioned earlier. And Jill was supposed to be the new final girl. That's what it was painted as, that picture. You had all these new characters. Kirby, love her. She's like the new Randy in this movie. I liked her sarcasm. I loved everything about Kirby. Oh my God. And Jill, Emma Roberts is cool and all. I liked her in American Horror Story Coven. You know, she was that bitch in that show. But in this, I thought that she was insane. As all the Ghostface killers, this bitch planned this all. Like, she was dating Charlie, but she had to use him because you need another killer. That's why Roman didn't make sense. So how do you do all that on your own? So her motive was just to be famous. This bitch wanted to have fans. She was just wanted to have a bunch of likes on Instagram. I don't know, TikTok. And she was gonna kill her. She killed her own mom. That's fucked up. And she was gonna kill her own cousin. And she almost got away with it. Let me tell you, out of all the ghost faces, I don't give a fuck what y'all say, she's the only one that almost killed Sydney. She sent that bitch to the hospital. She almost died, and she almost got away with it. She rolled on out into the hospital, and she was going to get away with all this. So, in my opinion, I think she's number 2 because she's insane, and she's beating herself up. And she almost killed Sydney, and I was mad. I was in that theater heated. I was like, this dumb bitch. Anyway, and I like that gruesome death of Olivia across the street. When my favorite scene is when he said, what's the name of the remake? And he never finished the question. And then Kirby went through every fucking remake that came out, all of them, amazing. And that kill across the street with Olivia, the guts were out, that was insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that my girl Sydney, the best final girl in my opinion, she heard that she was being attacked, her ass ran across the street. Like, everyone else be all scared, like, oh no, that bitch ran across the street to go fight Ghostface. She kicked him, threw him down the stairs. She was ready. And Sydney's that bitch, and I love her. And it's just sad that all her family want to kill her. her cousin, her brother, and she lost her auntie because her cousin killed her mom. I don't know. Scream 4 for me is honestly pretty solid. I like the remake vibe because during that time, it's all we were getting were remakes. Wes Craven's last Scream film, I love Wes Craven. My favorite horror franchise also is A Nightmare on Elm Street, which he did, and I love Freddy Krueger. I like the sarcasm, how he plays with his victims, but that's a whole nother stream. But I don't know. Scream 4 is really, I love Scream 4. I rewatched that one a lot, and I liked it even more going forward because I saw how crazy this bitch was. Out of all the killers, she's insane. Her, Mrs. Loomis, number 3. I don't know. I like that movie. Scream 4.
That the scene where she's beating the shit out of herself. If that's meant to be serious, though, all I think of is Fight Club.
But I mean, she had to do something. So her whole thing was she wanted to get. That was it. She stabbed herself. She threw herself. I mean, it made sense for what she was gonna do. Like she planned this out. Like she knew that she was gonna lure Sydney back into town. She had her book signing shit, and she almost killed Gail. Gail in the trailers, I was scared because I was like, is Gail gonna die in this? I like Gail, and I loved Gail in this one. I liked her dynamic with Dewey and that new girl, Judy Hicks. So I thought she was a killer. She was weird as fuck, going to Sydney in the dark corner talking about we were in a stage play together. Bitch, she didn't remember you. She did not. She's like, you don't remember him? Bitch, no. That's why I thought she was the killer, and it would have made sense. But Scream 4 was supposed to be a new trilogy, and Jill was supposed to get away with it, and she was going to be in college, and there's going to be a new killing spree where the killers were after, knowing that Jill was the killer in the previous film, we're going to be after her. So it's like killer versus killer. That would have been interesting. They didn't go that far. They didn't do that. But Jill got fucked up, and she was hard to kill. They fucked that bitch up a lot, and they still had to they fried her. Sydney had that epic finale line where she said, "Don't fuck with the original," and shot that girl's brains out. Amazing. I'm so sorry, but Scream 4 was great. I had more fun with that than Scream 5, and
I'm with you, Terrell. I'm with you.
Period. And that girl's psycho. Think of the killers. That bitch, you want to kill your own mama to be famous. Like, does that make sense to you? Do y'all want to kill your mamas in this day? No. Well, I hope not.
But I'm sure there's people out there who wouldn't mind, like.
That is insane. I love it. So that's why Scream 4 is so high for me. Period. Sorry,
listen
guys.
To Terrell, listen to him. Yeah.
Yes.
Alrighty. So let's see what Tim has to say about his number 2.
All right. So these top 2 legitimately, they way clear the other 3 by leaps and bounds. I fucking love these 2, and they would be almost neck and neck. I don't care what y'all did with 2. I fucking love 2.
2 is great.
I love 2. This has some of the most memorable scenes in the entire freaking franchise. I love Jada Pickett's death. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Love
yes.
Her death was awesome. Terrell, you brought up with the car when they're climbing over Ghostface. I loved in the college that whole back and forth where Ghostface projected the stuff onto the screen when
I forgot.
I loved
Dewey's touching the boob. Yep.
Yeah, I loved all of that.
Yes.
I thought Laurie Metcalf was bonkers crazy. She was an awesome villain.
Her eyes.
I have not a bad fucking thing to say about this. Not a bad thing at all. I don't care that this only came out a year after. I love Scream 2. It's right there with the first movie for me.
Yes, I agree. Oh, Tim, you did good with this one. Look at you. That was good. That was my favorite that you did tonight. Yes. he sold that to me. Yes.
Rank our reactions to each movie.
I will. No, he did great. I'm giving his kudos. Yes. I like that. Good job, Tim.
Awesome.
I like that. It's true, because I went back and forth. I almost put that as number 2 as well. But when y'all were trashing 4, I was like, There's a big reason why I like Fart 4, and that's why I put that number 2. But yeah, sorry. Nate, you up.
Nate's up. Let's see, Nate. Number 2, Nate.
Yeah, you're right. It's number 2. That's
yep.
Well. I am in agreement with Tim in that I don't think there's a huge drop off between 1 and 2 for me. I think they're a great double feature. Like if you just want to watch 2 movies of, like a franchise back to back, Scream 1 and Scream 2 is a really fun one. As far as another thing I agree is, like, to me, when I think, when I was talking about some of the other movies, stuff I remember, like if you say, Scream, like the Scream movies, what are the things that pop in my head? It's mostly Scream 1 and Scream 2. Randy's death scene. You guys talked about it earlier. I think it was great. I watched this movie in 97 when I was a kid. And me and my sister, I have a sister, she's a little bit older than me, and we were just like we're glued to the TV. You know, this is Blockbuster time, so we rented it on tape and we're watching it. And we're like, there's no, you know, like he's safe. He's on the phone. He's talking. He's walking around. He's like, oh, it's broad daylight, and he gets yanked into that van, and our whole little like life was shattered. We're like, there's no way safe. Nothing is safe. I could go outside, and I could just get pulled into a van, and it was horrifying. You know, and I think that was a bold move, not only to kill him, but to kill him in that way. Yeah. So I think that was great. I thought Dewey was dead too. I'm pretty sure my sister cried at that scene. Like she was
and that Gale chase scene, we forgot to talk about that when she was going through that maze. That was great. And then Dewey's bamming on that window, and you couldn't hear it. That was intense. See, y'all, Scream 2 was fucking good. I'm sorry. Who put that at the end? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm cutting you off, Nate.
No, you're okay. You're okay. That sound, that soundproof like room that he's in.
Yes, no one talked about that. That was so good.
It was like sad. It was like almost sad, you know, like especially if you watch these as a youngster. And I thought that was bold. I love both killers in this movie, to be honest. I think, you know, Timothy Olyphant, it's one of those that's like it's hit or miss. I thought he was great. I really liked him. He was crazy. Him and Laurie Metcalf just absolutely
she was insane too.
See, now she did the crazy that I like compared to the Mikey Madison girl. I didn't like her as much. Laurie Metcalf, it worked. And I just thought it was a good reveal. I understood her motivations. You know what I mean? Like, I dug it. I thought I like Jerry O'Connell in the movie. I'm gonna
Me
go
too.
on Terrell's team here. Like,
thank you. Somebody's on my team finally.
I thought it was fun. Yeah. Is it 90s cheese? Yeah. But do I hate it? No, I like it. I thought it was fun.
Straight
and when it was, but I still liked it.
That was great.
Like, it didn't make me not like it. And he's another one, like he gets shot, and I'm like, oh my God, like no one, everyone's gonna die in this movie. Every single person's gonna die. The only thing is, and then I'll end with this. Watching this movie now, I think the opening scene with Jada Pinkett and Omar Epps, as a kid, I loved it. And I will say, I still love it now. The only thing is, as a diehard like theater like I go to the movies like 2 to 3 times a week. That gives me such anxiety. If I watched a movie in a theater like that, every time I watch it now, I get like anxiety. Like, oh my God, it's just so loud. Everyone's screaming and running
it would
around
be
and jumping
fun
around.
if you already seen the movie already, like that Stab movie. If you had a Stabathon, you had a whole bunch of friends, you guys are drinking, having a good time. That will be. I get what you're saying.
Like,
That'll be fine. But for the first time, I get it.
Oh my God, I would lose my mind. But that's just like a side. This is a side. In the context of the film, I like it. I think it works.
And I always think a Scary Movie 2 or Scary Movie. Well, what's her name? They're eating her popcorn, and then
or Sean Wayne's in the bathroom.
The dick in the ear, like, oh my God, yeah, very that.
Yes, ruins certain things in the
it does. Like the first one, oh man, yep.
It's like
Casey Becker.
About that, but
yep.
No, you also got to call out.
Of course, loved it.
Yeah, thank you for calling out Sarah.
Scream 2 gave us Stab in the first place, and Stab is an integral part of the Scream franchise.
Yeah,
it was really cool when you first watched Scream 2 to see Scream 1 replayed with different actors. You know, to see the whole thing with Casey Becker,
Tori Spelling, Heather Graham.
Heather Graham. Yeah,
Heather Graham.
I think at this point, 97, Kevin Williamson was still like at his peak as far as writing, and that's why I don't think the writing in this one and one. I think obviously clearly one's better, but the writing specifically in 2 is close to me.
Yeah,
I think the script is
3 was
really
a different
strong.
writer.
Yeah, and the soundtrack again.
Oh,
killer.
You have it.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm a big rock fan. This got Collective Soul, Foo Fighter, Dave Matthews Band. There's a lot of really good bands.
Dave Matthews Band snuck on that thing, huh? Dave Matthews Band snuck in. But yeah, Scream 2 is my number 2. I've always loved it. I would say it's obviously I love 1, but 2 is a close. It's like a close second.
I feel the same as you guys. Yeah, Terrell and Nate, we're the same there.
Yes.
Yes. Ready? Let's see what dude who loves movies has his 2.
So my number 2 is going to be Scream 2.
Oh, you got Stab.
Stab
I
on
want
VHS.
that. How you get that?
I got it off of
Etsy.
Etsy. Yeah,
You get
Etsy.
everything off of Etsy. That shirt, that poster, that VHS. Okay, the hat too.
No, no, the hat was Spirit. But yeah, that's why it says Ghostface.
Oh, okay.
But this was the first horror movie I saw in theaters. My
Ooh.
my mom's boyfriend brought me. I didn't like my mom's boyfriend, but he's bringing me to see Scream. So thank
He got
God
points.
yeah, he got points.
He
for
got
that.
points.
Yeah. Anyways, he was like sitting through the movie, and as soon as they showed Debbie Salt, he's like, "That's the killer." And I was
Oh,
like,
he.
but I was a little kid. I was like, "Okay, idiot," you know. And then, and then at the end, I was like, "How did you know that?" But anyways, Laurie Metcalf, that is like my that is my white whale. That's the person I want to meet the most.
Oh, really,
I could meet
Roseanne's
even-
sister?
Yep, yeah, yep. Aunt Jackie, she is my
Yes.
second favorite ghost face, and a lot of people do not like her. They think it's so far fetched that it's her.
She my
I
top 3.
loved it. Yeah, I love that. I love the beginning scene. I think that's crazy, especially someone who loves going to the movies. It's like, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, I could get stabbed up at the movie, especially back then. Things like that wasn't
Right.
happening, and but it does. It's funny when I was a kid, I was like, oh my gosh, is that what it's like to see a movie on opening night? That's awesome. You know, you get.
Mhm.
I was like, dang, you get a ghost face mask.
Yeah,
this
you
and
get a
that.
whole
Everyone's
fucking
ru-
costume.
Yeah, everyone's running around. I was like, oh my gosh. When I'm older, I'm going the first night. And now when I'm older, I'm like, oh my god, just shut up. Let me watch the movie.
Mhm.
You know?
That's me. That's me. Every time I see it, that's how I feel.
Yeah. So it's funny. I went and saw the midnight showing of Snakes on a Plane, and it was kind of
Uh-oh.
like that. It was kind of like that the whole movie through.
Oh.
It was fun, but I was also still younger to where I was like, okay, this is cool, and it was that kind of movie. But yeah, Scream 2 is my number 2. Oh yeah, again. So I saw it in theaters around Christmas when it came out. And then the next Christmas, on Christmas Eve, you know, we did this tradition other people do where you can open one gift on Christmas Eve. I opened up. I would always open up whatever felt like a VHS, and so I opened that up. It was Scream 2. So I was like, oh hell yeah! So I watched
Nice.
that. You know, going into Christmas morning, I had to be like maybe 10. It was great. I loved it.
Cool.
So I hold a very special place in my heart for Scream 2
Yeah,
and
that
Stab,
was great too. This
which is
Cool way to
uh,
own it too.
yeah. And fun fact too, Robert Rodriguez is the one who did all the Stab stuff, and
Oh.
by him doing that, he got the job of doing the Faculty.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh,
One
wow.
of my favorites. I love The Faculty.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Great movie. Okay, so let's see what Mark has.
Mark.
His,
I like that Stab VHS. I think they make like whole box sets of like the Blu-ray that you can buy.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. But my second favorite is Scream 4. Terrell, you and I might have almost the same ranking if I'm not. It's been-
Almost.
we've had like more than we haven't. But dude, I really like 4.
Yes. Think clapping for that.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
the whole Vaseline on the lens, that was something that I never noticed when I first saw it, and that might have just been like it was because they were trying to make it look like movies of the time, so maybe because of that, like it just might have looked like whatever everything else I was looking at. So it never bothered me until I started getting more active on like horror spaces on the internet, and people started pointing it out. So that's never bothered me. I think Emma Roberts in that final scene, you guys said Fight Club. It makes me think of Liar Liar, but just a lot less funny. Or like I don't know how much of that she did. Like
Kicking my ass.
I haven't seen like behind the scenes, but like I'm pretty sure she's like doing all that stuff, right? Or like at least a good amount of it. So if
She had to make it believable.
if that's the case and she did a lot of those stunts, I don't know if she did or not. I would have to look into that. But if she did, then she deserves a lot of credit for just like really great, like physical, like demanding. I don't know that that many Ghostface's actors have had to do something like that. So that's pretty commendable. And also her motive was pretty ahead of its time as far as she even has a line where she says, "I don't need friends, I need fans."
Yep. She said, "Who cares about friends?" She shot Trevor in the dick.
Shot him, shot him in the
Before
head.
that was a thing.
I mean,
Yeah, she was brutal. I'm sorry, y'all. That bitch is crazy.
Yeah.
Scream 4 is way ahead of its time.
It is.
Yeah,
Way ahead.
with this live streaming too, like you were saying, Cody. Yeah, I think there's a lot to like about Scream 4. And in that time, I mean, in that, like I was saying earlier, like this was the ample time. It's a shame it didn't do better, But this
I
was an
know.
ample time for Scream to strike because and even after this, I feel like we were still getting these remakes of
Yep.
legacy horror movies, and nothing was safe. Like stuff like Prom Night is getting
Ooh,
remade.
that remake was not good.
That's one of the worst
terrible.
ones.
Brittany
Well,
Snow, girl.
Yeah, no, that was not it.
No,
But there's just a lot to like about Scream 4, man. It's my number 2. I like it a lot.
That is
nice. We can't wait to see what Rob picks.
I'm actually gonna go with Scream 4 also.
Hey! Oh, I like
Nice.
that slip cover. I wish the Blu-ray had a
this slip
fucking
was-
slip.
Yeah, this
I was
a
so mad.
great one.
But I got the Target exclusive. Mine came with some album or some shit.
Oh, that's
I
cool
don't
though.
know. Yeah.
For me, Scream 4, this was the first Scream I ever got to see in the theater, so it's definitely got the nostalgia with it for me. When it comes to this movie, I love the whole idea of how it's Emma Roberts and her character of how crazy she is towards the end, because throughout the beginning of the movie, you can kind of notice that she's a little unhinged because of the way she acts towards certain characters and everything. Kirby in this, I think, is one of the best characters, top 5 in the whole Scream series.
I forgot to
'cause of
even mention Kirby. Yeah,
how she comes about with naming 20 or 15 horror movies that were
Yep.
remakes back to back to back. I love
So
that scene
effortless. Yep.
so effortlessly, and just the fact of how much like the fans loved her, and like when you see things now, everyone is on the Kirby train, and I
Mhm.
love it because I thought she was awesome in the movie.
Yep.
And it always left you with that idea of if there was going to be a trilogy, like if you watch what was said, it made you believe like she could have lived. They never saw her die, they never saw her being carted out, so it's cool to see in the new one how they're plugging her in.
Yeah, because she was
Plus
supposed to
with-
be dead, supposedly, but then the way the fans are, the fan demand from Scream 4 that y'all put at the end, but the fan demand from her, that's what brought her back. The fans did.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so cool that that happened. Because it is
Our-
true. We didn't see her die. You know, if we
our
didn't see
fans
it.
are great, man.
Yes, they are. They brought that bitch back. And we'll see what happened in 6. I hope she ain't the killer, but we'll see.
I hope
met
so,
her. She
you know?
was super nice in person.
Oh, you met her, Tim?
Yeah,
You met Hayden
I
Panettiere?
was gonna get something Scream signed, but I ended up picking Heroes because I really like
Save the cheerleader, save the world. I get
Yeah.
it.
She's a
Mhm.
childhood crush of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was able
Okay.
to live my dream, Tim, by beating Hayden Panettiere.
Nice.
Jeez,
She was in
that's a good one.
everything, like when I was growing up, you know. So seeing her in
That's good
Scream
one.
when it was like, because growing up loving the Scream movies, getting to my first one because 2011, you know,
Yeah.
that finally got to see. I think I was 15, and I loved it. And then, you know, as I rewatch it, I just like the kills, how much more gore there is, and just the way it plays along with, you know, what Craven wanted to do eventually with the Scream series. But too bad he didn't get to make any more after that. But I'm hoping with the new one, they kind of go towards their own way of doing and writing the story rather than having to drag in everything that Craven did. Because if you've seen Ready or Not or any of the other movies that they've done, they're really freaking good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm a big Ready or Not fan.
Yeah, I think this one's going further out.
Yeah,
this is
further
this
away,
new
yeah.
cast shit. They got yeah. So
Do you guys notice in 4 how they very slightly hinted to a romance between Dewey and Nev when they're sitting on the couch? They
never picked it, yeah.
slightly.
I never picked up on that.
no, I
Yeah.
didn't either. I saw it was like a big brother little sister type of thing. You know how she was best friends with Tatum. I like
Right.
Tatum. Y'all like Tatum?
I like
Oh.
Yeah, she
I
was
loved
great.
her.
We'll
Yeah.
get to her soon, I'm sure.
that.
Yeah, with
That's
her
why
having
I
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love in Scream 5 how they have her memorial. Like the
Yeah.
people I was with, I was like, "Oh, it's Tatum." Look,
I
guess
love
we don't know
Tatum.
that.
It was just weird though that she had her bedroom had twin beds. Like, bitch, who was sleeping in the bed with you? Like, does Dewey share a room with her? I was confused.
No, he's in his room vacuuming.
Vacuuming.
Yeah. Oh, scary movie. Oh my god.
Told you not to interrupt me when I'm cleaning my room.
Doofy,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck his name was.
Doofy.
For,
Yeah.
for last round, we're basically just going to be going around and saying why we love the first.
I
Scream.
know. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, so it's
Honestly,
it's
not,
probably
there's nothing
anonymous.
wrong with that.
That's
though.
not bad.
There ain't nothing
Do
wrong
it.
with that.
But yeah, let's start with Terrell. What you got?
All right. So we have number 1, So I love this. I remember being a little kid when this came out in '96. I was like, what, 7 or 8, something around that age, 6, 7, 8. Anyway, so that movie, when it came out, I saw the previews and I hella wanted to see it. I was like asking my mom, oh, can I see this? I was just begging to see it. I didn't get to see it in theaters, sadly. I did now, but I got it on, we rented it. And I remember growing up, me and my brother and sister used to watch this movie over and over and over. My aunt used to scare us with this shit, but I loved it. So this movie, okay, so for one, Scream this needs to be in the history books because slashers and and horror films in general were declining. When this movie came out, everybody in the mama wanted to be Scream. Word of mouth, it made so much money. This shit came out December, didn't leave the theater till like June. That doesn't happen. They were filming part 2 when this shit was still in theaters. So, and then every poster that you've seen came out, the post-Scream slashers all had the same shit. Scream is everything to me. I love everything about it. Like all the characters, every last character in this fucking movie was great. We talked about not liking characters, not connecting to characters, these other movies. This one, I liked them all. I liked Stu, I liked Randy, the opening scene. All right, this was supposed to be Drew Barrymore's movie. That bitch said, nope, I want to be the opening kill. And that was so effective because she was well known. Like, that bitch was in everything. Yeah, that opening scene was great, and it was scary. Y'all don't think that shit was scary? A phone call, like, that shit can happen. Like, some weird guy can call you and fucking, like, you know, stalk you and shit and come kill your ass. And then I like the backstory with the Maureen Prescott and da-da-da-da. And then Sydney, she came out with this, like, this timid girl, but she's always strong. Like, she was always strong from the beginning. And she had to deal with the repercussions of her mother and all this stuff. She got caught and weary. I don't want to spoil the whole thing. I want to bore y'all. But this movie's great. 1000%. It's like a near perfect film, 5 out of 5. And yeah, it started off what we're talking about today. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for this movie and its success. And there's so many fans. Like, what's your favorite scary movie? That's a big thing. A lot of people say Scream. Yeah. So I don't know. And I've rewatched this movie hundreds and hundreds of times. I could probably quote the entire film. I watched it recently and I was like saying everything that they were saying. It was crazy. I could like play the characters. I should do a spoof. Y'all want to join me? That'll be great. So it'll be fun. But I don't know. Scream is awesome. And yeah, I mean, I'm ready for 6, y'all. And I'm glad we're doing this, by the way. I love all these rankings and all these different opinions. And yeah, number 1.
Awesome. So yeah, let's keep at it. Let's see what Tim has to say about Scream.
Well, yeah, so I feel like we're all going to say similar stuff, so I'm going to let a lot of you guys just continue on because we all love this movie, obviously. What I think is cool is, so I didn't see this in theaters, but I did see Scary Movie in theaters. For anyone that doesn't know, Scary Movie was the original title for Scream, which is cool. And also in the credits for this, they couldn't get what was the name of the high school? They actually tried filming at a high school. And
Special no thanks. Yeah.
No thanks too. I thought that's great. That's nice tongue in cheek.
Very petty. I like it.
I mean, who doesn't love this movie? So it's like I said, perfection on characters. Rose McGowan, I love her for 2 specific reasons. She was gorgeous.
What are the 2? Tell me, Tim.
Well,
she had her high beams on. Went that way.
Tim talks titties.
Tim talks titties.
Tim talks Tatum.
Comes full circle once again.
Ding, ding.
That's
Turkey's
hilarious.
Oh, those are the 2 reasons? Left and right? Oh, I get it. Okay, left and right. We got it. They got stuck in that damn what's that garage thing. She couldn't fit them in there. I liked her scene with the whole, I want to be in the sequel. I wish she was in the sequel. That'd been great. I love her. She's good.
Alrighty, what's Nate got to say about?
Oh yeah,
Scream?
so obviously,
look at Nate.
Yeah,
he off guard.
You know, I never know. I never know when my screen's gonna blow up, and then it's my turn. I'm just gotta be ready. I wasn't ready.
I'm getting it.
Yeah. It's look again the same thing about 2, but better as far as the writing in the movie. I think is exceptional for a horror film, for a slasher film, especially. You know, this is a genre that consists of young people doing bad things and dying, right? Like that is your basic premise. And what they did here was they said, okay, we're not really going to change it too much, but we're going to kind of take those rules, talk about those rules, and put them right there in your face, and then still make our movie and make it unique and make it its own thing. I thought Kevin Williamson's script was great. I love the setting. I think it's not just suburbia, but these kids are like, they're like rich kids. They have like these huge houses. You know, I grew up in not anywhere that looks like this. And so I love that kind of California, you know, these kids, they have no reason to like Stu and Billy, I'm talking about mostly. No real reason to like snap so much, you know, like they got it pretty good. Maybe Billy a little bit, you know, he got some issues, but
he got
but,
mommy
you know,
issues. His mom
yeah.
left him, remember?
Yeah, but it's like,
And his dad was cheating on her.
yeah, but
He
to
was
like
sleazy. You didn't see him in that.
it's,
You didn't see
know,
his sleazy ass in that detective apartment thing, whatever. That cop. He looked
yeah,
like
I
white
know
trash.
what you're saying,
Low
but my
key.
thing is like,
Sorry.
it's even no, you're fine. Even still, it's like, but I like that because that's the reason I like it. It's like you don't necessarily. There's no one in here who's like so evil that you're gonna be like, that's definitely, you know, that they should be killing these other kids and stuff like that. I think the kills they're good. They're, you know, looking back, they're not like the greatest. I think Rose McGowan in the garage was the most iconic to me.
Yep.
And the funny thing with this one is I did not get to see this one in the theater because I was 9 years old, so no one was gonna take me to see this.
Oh, we're on the same age. Or
yeah. 87. So I was 9.
Oh, 88. Oh, nice.
Okay,
87.
I mean,
Oh, okay. We the
Okay,
same age.
that's
Oh, that's
almost-
epic. Okay,
So,
80s. Work.
Yeah, I could not see this in the theater. My sister went to see this. This is a little story, and then I'm done. So, 2 movie theaters, like a tiny little theater. One theater was showing Scream. The other theater was showing a movie called Star Trek: First Contact. I believe that was the movie. My grandma took me to see that. I fell asleep because I was like, "This is."
Dude, that sound boring. You can have
My
that.
sister went to see Scream.
You can have that boring shit.
My
That's a
sister
nap.
went to see, my sister went to see Scream with my aunt.
Mhm.
We get in the car, and my sister's like, she was only 11. She's like, Nathan, you got to see this movie. It's so scary. You're just gonna. And I'm like, she built it up, and then finally, when we rented it, with Scream 2, and I finally watched it. I always remember the bathroom scene where she's in the bathroom and she don't know if someone's in there, and then like the boots come off the thing. And,
Oh,
like,
those dumb girls talking about her.
Yeah,
Messing with their lips and shit.
Yes.
They was ugly.
Hands,
Yeah, that scene. And
Bubble
around
butt
the same-
boyfriend Billy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
around this same time, Halloween H2O had a bathroom scene. It scarred me. I was like, I'm never going to a public bathroom. I ain't doing it. Like, someone's gonna come in there. I never look in the little crack. Nothing. I'm like, I'm not going in there. So just a lot of iconic moments. And Henry Winkler. I mean, it got Henry Winkler in it.
Yeah.
Then I like it. Automatic. And Wes Craven cameo with the sweater.
Yeah, with the
There's so much to
red
like.
and green sweater.
Yeah, it was so good. And I love this film.
Yep.
By the way, Mark, that Fan Expo thing, Henry Winkler's going to be there.
He's gonna go. Mark, now you have to go. Henry Winkler's gonna be.
Mark, you're gonna go?
I need to see the full lineup. I don't know if it's. I don't
Don't
know.
you need at least
Nice.
12 people you want to see?
The Fonz is enough.
I like to
Fonz is
kill
enough.
multiple birds with one stone whenever I go to these conventions and just meet as many people as possible. So
Nice.
Yep.
yeah, that definitely moves the meter for me for sure. So
You got me thinking about it now. Yeah.
I'll be in contact with you, Tim. Don't worry.
Let's see what Cody has to say
All
about
right, so my
Scream.
number one, of course, is Scream 3. No, it's gonna be good old.
Oh,
Oh, that's
goosebumps.
cool.
What's it
Damn.
say? There's a ghost in my house.
Yeah,
Oh, I love
Amazing.
that. Where'd you get that? Etsy?
Etsy?
probably.
You live on Etsy. You got some
I-
coupons?
Probably, man. Etsy is my place. It's just so many good, talented artists. I'd rather pay them.
Yeah, no, I get Etsy.
Etsy is very cool. I've bought some stuff.
Mhm.
So, anyway, Scream. When this movie came out, I was always allowed to watch horror movies when I was a kid. So I was anticipating this. So when it was coming out, I would watch like MTV just so I could watch that 30-second spot on TV. So I'd watch it. And of course, I was too young. No one wanted to take me to the theater. My mom's boyfriend wasn't there yet, so couldn't take me to see it. Yeah. so anyways, so my mom really wasn't around a lot when I was younger. And I remember we rented this movie and I was watching it early in the morning and she got home from her shift from like Target or Kmart or something. And I
Oh,
was
yep. You changed that. It's true. Remember Kmart's back in the day?
Yeah.
We were kids.
And I remember like I was watching the ending when they revealed the killers and she came up from behind and she was just like she was like my mouth was on the floor and I turned around and her mouth was on the floor. She's like, wow, can we watch this again? She's like, wow, can I watch this with you? So we ended up watching it again. So it's like it's a cool memory that I had. Anyways, rented it, so I didn't own it yet. So I would go, you know how you would have like the pay-per-view channel and you could turn it on to the channel and it would just there was one channel where you could watch the trailer for it. So it'd be like that and like For Rich or For Poor, 007 and something else.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'd watch that
Yep.
all day so I could watch the trailer for it. And then there was another channel where you could watch it like scrambled. It was like scrambled porn. So yeah, so there's like a lot of young kids out there watching scrambled porn. I'm over there watching scrambled
Scream
Scream.
trailers.
Yeah. And so it changed my life. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be an actor, do something with movies.
Oh, wow.
When I saw this movie, which I had to be around 9 or so, I was like, somebody wrote this. Like the twist blew me away, and I was like, you could actually write this. So since that movie came out, in my mind, I was like, okay, if I was going to write a Scream movie, how would I write it? And that's how I went. Like in elementary school, I'd go around and be like, oh, so what if he called, this and that. So it kind of changed my perspective, and it got me to want to go to film school. So I went to film school.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it's because of Scream was a big influence on me.
Yeah.
Because of that. In my notebook right now that I wrote my notes in.
Oh,
Scream.
I love that. I have that same one from Hot Topic.
Yeah. And guys, another Etsy pickup. It's my coaster.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
So,
you. You was
it's
an
just
Etsy
like-
king. You need to change your name from Dudes with Movies to Dude.
Dude who loves Etsy.
The Etsy king, bitch. Etsy
Dude.
king. Y'all see this?
Dude who loves Etsy.
Yes. I'm calling you Etsy.
So
Hey,
it's just
Etsy.
like
Etsy.
it's a movie that means so much to me, and it always has, and it always will. And it's one of the greatest horror movies ever,
Yes.
with one of the greatest openings ever, and it's
Yep.
still scary to this day.
1,000. That's what I was saying.
And Terrell, like you said, they showed a like they had the broadcast debut of this like 2 years ago on like on like CBS. So I watched, and I literally sat there and quoted every single line.
Yes. It's you could. I see.
I
it-
like
the
I did
replay
my
value
one man
is
show in
everything.
my living room.
Yep.
I was
Yes.
I was like the Exorcist was
there's-
on.
Yeah, it got me thinking of you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just like
Yes.
every line, and I'm sure the person I was
Mhm.
watching with was so annoyed. But
There's no
yeah.
way you guys don't know this already, but you know what Casey Becker's Kill, the MPAA gave an X rating at first, and they resubmitted without cutting anything, but pretended that they cut stuff.
and said
and
it
it
was a
got an R.
comedy.
It was a
Yeah.
comedy, yeah. And that's why
Wasn't
the
good.
school didn't want to do it, is because then they read the script and was like, this is not a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, let's see what
All right,
Mark has
Mark.
to say
Shout out
about
to Wes Craven for
Scream.
lying to everybody. You gotta respect it.
Yeah, this is actually the only one that I own.
Wow. That
Uh,
speaks volumes.
Yeah, I like 4 and 5 obviously, but I don't know. I want them to make like a box set or something with all 5, or maybe when 6 and eventually 7. They're never complete box sets, but besides the point. Yeah, I mean, if you were gonna do a list of like most impactful or like influential or just overall important horror movies, Scream's. I mean, it has to be top 5. It's. I mean, we all know how much it did for the genre at a time when like it really needed it the most. 90s is not my favorite decade for horror. I don't know if it's many people's favorite decade, and there's gems in there for sure. But like, Scream came and it just kind of shook everything up, and it was so important. It was like a shot of adrenaline, and you can never like capture that lightning in a bottle, and that's why I think some of the other sequels are like, it just feels like, oh, we're doing this again, and it's like, but that first, it's like you're trying to do the first one again, and I get that's the point of these, like they're playing on those tropes, so it's hard to separate the two things for me. But this is the most rewatchable for me. It's hands down the best, and the fact that it's Wes Craven directing it is so important too, because he's somebody who made his name in the 70s with Last House on the Left and Hills Have Eyes. And then the 80s comes along, he does, Nightmare on Elm Street. And then in the 90s, he does Scream. So it's like we have a guy here who's, put his stamp on the genre in 3 separate decades. I mean, 4 if you count Scream 4. So I mean, the man is just so prolific, and I couldn't think of anyone better to do Scream. So the combination of him and Kevin Williamson's just like crazy, amazing script, then you have this, and it's like you can never replicate that. And I don't think it'll ever happen again where you have a movie so clever as Scream. So yeah, that's my diatribe on Scream.
Awesome.
Yes.
I love hearing everybody's different, what they love about this original.
It's hard to say different
movie.
things, because
Yeah.
a lot of us are all feel the same way. But
Yeah.
that's my contribution.
Nice.
So for me, I got a still sealed here.
Oh my
VHS.
God! And it's the Nev
Well,
Campbell one.
Yeah, it was cool. I got all of them, but I grabbed this one because it's got the Nev on it. For me, the thing that bothers me the most about this movie is I can't see it for the first time again, and that's like the biggest problem. Is it's so good that I wish every time I see it, it's that first time where I'm trying to figure out who it is, what's going on,
Yes.
and I just wish that I could have that rewatchability of just not knowing who the killer was, because it's just so good, especially when you think back to that first time you've ever seen it. And the thing about Wes was he was just coming off things that people I think have loved more now, like People Under the Stairs. I think is an underrated gem of his and all that. And I think Scream kind of made him come out of his shell again, and people started to Wes is a legendary, he's great, and it really showed that with how he was able to get Williamson in, and they wrote this great script, they make this awesome movie, a whodunit, and yeah, I got to give it to them, because when you think about a movie that had so much, impact on a time, especially for horror, it was the 90s with Wes Craven's Scream. And I love this movie. I think it's really the best of the series, and it's so rewatchable. I think when it's like, oh, let's have a night in October and put on something, pajamas, popcorn, and watch a horror movie, most of the time you're going to pick Scream, especially if someone's not seen it. You're going to go and be like, you haven't seen this, let's watch this. You're going to love it. Because even like if it's not a horror fan, I'll throw this one to them because it's different. It's more of that whodunit, like Clue and all those.
This is Scooby-Doo. It's a Scooby-Doo movie for adults.
Scream transcends the horror genre. That's something I meant to say earlier, but like between the scary movie influence, obviously, all the Halloween costumes, it's something that's like seeped its way into pop culture, and it's like you don't need to be a horror fan to know Scream. Like you just know Scream. It's like through osmosis, we've all absorbed Scream in some form or fashion.
I'm surprised.
Oh, no, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm surprised none of us have also mentioned Scream doesn't exist in the way it does without New Nightmare 2 years before.
Oh, that movie was great.
New Nightmare is major inspiration for Scream.
That movie's great.
100%.
Yeah, I was going to say, to Mark's point, I mean, Wes needed Scream to hit the way it did. I mean, New Nightmare was like the precursor for what was coming. But although like to Rob's point, like People Under the Stairs and people like Shocker and The Serpent and the Rainbow, and it's not that people don't like these movies, but it's really only diehard horror fans that like these movies.
Yeah,
these were all flops. None of them were successful. None of them made money, and they're now having that following.
They become cult classics. Fans. Yeah.
And what I was gonna say was, and this is an argument I've gotten into with a lot of people, and it always bugs me when people say Scream. Oh, like the opening scene with Drew Barrymore. Oh, it's not original. Psycho did it. And I'm like, they're totally different. I love Hitchcock. I love classic old movies. I love Hitchcock. I love Psycho. But Marion Crane in Psycho is way more of a character in that film.
Yeah. It's like halfway through the movie that she does.
Yeah, she's halfway through. Now, was it as surprising? I would wager to say yes. The time it came out, nobody expected that to happen. But her whole murder, it's like the whole plot of the movie. Whereas here, like, it's not. Like her dying it's what starts the movie off. But it is totally unrelated to any of the characters or anything else that happens throughout the movie. So I don't like the comparison. I think it was just as shocking. I thought it was just as well done and way more surprising because I wouldn't say irrelevant, but it's almost like she's just a girl. She's just a girl. She's not a real main character. People just thought she was. And so I think that, I thought it was brilliant is kind of what I'm saying, but I don't think it's a copycat scenario at all.
Drew Barrymore was a bigger name than any of the rest of the people in that cast at that time.
Right.
That was big.
Now, that opening almost plays like its own little short film. Even if there was no movie after that, it would still kind of be like effective as just like a a closed.
Nowadays, someone would make that and just put it on YouTube and be like,
Yeah.
"Wow, that was a great short."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I totally agree.
And Drew Barrymore promoted it like it was her baby, you know?
Yeah, she did.
Yes, he really.
She was on Letterman. She was doing all that. Nowadays, people would be like, they wouldn't waste the time doing that, you know?
No,
Yeah, she committed to the bit. She was like, "Yeah, we're gonna trick all
Yep.
these people into thinking that I'm."
And
the
it
main
worked.
character."
She
Super
It worked
still
for her
talks
because
about it
then
to
her
this day.
career bounced back like crazy right
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
She
You know
got
what I mean?
tons
So
of stuff after that.
it,
Yeah.
it did a lot for a lot of people, and for Wes, for her, for Nev, for pretty much everyone in it. Scream really,
It
Matthew
sure did.
Lillard,
Jamie Kennedy, like
All of them.
it launched like all their careers, you know.
pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah, pretty much.
So
It did.
I don't know about the rest of you. What makes that scene hit the hardest for me is actually the mother walking outside with the phone.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
they sell
Screaming.
it.
She
Seeing
went,
the phone.
Casey, baby. And then
Yeah.
she looked outside and her scream and her. Oh,
Yes.
man.
And
You know
them
what,
getting
Yep.
so close to being able to save her.
I
Yeah,
know.
It
Yeah.
terrifies me so much when she's walking up to the door and they're right there.
Yeah.
Like, that scares me, and it's a fear
Mhm.
of mine.
Those
You
parents,
wish.
actors, they're in it for a little bit, but they do so much with a small amount of screen time.
Yeah.
They really
Yeah.
sell that death. They really do, and they probably don't get enough credit for it.
No.
No.
Yeah.
You always hope that like she could make that scream, and then
Yeah.
every time you see it, it's like heart wrenching. Like, oh
Yeah.
come on,
It's like really visceral, dude.
yeah.
It is
Definitely.
brutal, yeah.
And with the sixth one coming out, I have to say I'm very excited. I feel like from the little stuff that I have seen that this is like next level. It looks like with the whole city idea and
Yeah,
just that in general really makes me get excited, because what's funny is a couple years ago I got to meet Bruce Campbell, and he was
Oh,
talking
nice.
about the new Evil Dead
Mhm.
and how that was going to be in New York City, and I was like, how's that going to work? And then I see the trailer for that, and then this, and I'm like, I think he got the two movies confused, because the new Evil Dead is not in the city, but Scream is, And he was talking like he was hyping it up at this thing that I met him at, because someone asked like, "Are you going to be in the next Evil Dead?" And he's like, "No, but I can give you a clue. We're going to the city." And we're like,
well, it is
That
set in a
sounds-
skyscraper, so
Yeah, it's in an apartment building in a
And
city.
they probably don't have enough money to actually do
it might
cities.
not
Yeah.
be
It's
New York,
pretty
but
much
it
one
is.
that might
location
be
still.
it then. Yeah.
Yeah.
It might
Maybe-
it's
Yep.
probably in some
Maybe they
undisclosed-
show it at some point, like, oh, this
Yeah.
is in
He
this
meant
area,
it's in
yeah.
a building in a city.
There you
It's
go.
in a
Still
building
Still looks
in
dope,
the
though.
city.
Still looks really good.
Maybe he wasn't lying.
Yeah, I'm
you know?
looking forward to that one too in April.
Yes.
Mhm.
Besides the TV show, though, that's a very much so a single location movie. So I'm
Yeah.
all good with Rise just being in an apartment.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited for that one.
Excited for that.
Mhm.
But that's the thing is, I see like so many of these movies finally getting recognition, because the thing with the Scream franchise is there are some that, like, especially 3, where you're like, it's not as good as the other ones. But when it comes to like the Evil Dead franchise, they're all good. And
Yeah.
it's kind of funny when you look at it that way too, is Scream has been going for so long now with 5 films now that you can kind of pinpoint at which ones are good and which ones aren't. And it's a lot different,
It's funny you say that, because Evil Dead is literally probably the only franchise I'd put above Scream for consistency wise.
There is no bad Evil Dead movie.
There's
No,
no bad,
no.
yeah. It's
They're all-
consistent.
They're all
you know?
great, and they're all very. And I think what helps them is they're all very tonally different.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
It never gets the chance to get stale. And that's Evil Dead Rise seems like it's playing more in the Evil Dead 2013 sandbox. So I'll have to see how, if at all, maybe, and we'll see in the movie that they're kind of connected. But yeah, Evil Dead and Scream are probably the most consistent in terms of like what they're trying to do. They do them better than most other people do.
Yeah.
Other franchises, I should say.
Yeah.
So does anybody think that in Scream, the new one coming up, that the killer could be someone from the past, or
We have not talked about Stu all night, and I'm pretty proud of us.
yeah, but that
Are
I
you
feel
one of
that-
the ones that wants Stu to be the killer?
I don't. I don't.
How does-
don't.
I
get
don't
it.
either. He
How do
was
you guys all feel
bleeding.
about
He's
that?
like, I'm getting a little woozy here. He got kneed in the balls. He got TV thrown on him. That nigga is dead. I'm sorry.
Would I?
Let's
So,
He
yeah.
is dead. Y'all crash that. Y'all is crazy. That little skinny
So-
little white man. He was stabbed the fuck up. No, he did.
I think he's dead. And if they do, like, I'm someone who, like, he's my favorite Ghostface. I would love to see him back. But if they did bring him back, they would have to have one hell of a good story. To
Yeah.
write
Yeah.
and where
It'd have-
where he's
have
back
to
at,
sell.
and I just don't see that being possible, honestly. So I
have-
think he needs to
yeah.
stay dead.
He needs to say that. I
honestly.
think Kevin Williamson even said that character is dead.
Yeah, so
I mean,
do
that don't mean too much because they said Kirby
It's-
was dead, but her ass is back. But who knows?
It would
Yeah.
be a case of like in the modern era where you have fans influencing how these movies go. Like it's happened with geez.
Star Wars. Star Wars.
Yeah,
is a prime
Star
example.
Wars is a big one. Like where you have like Reddit is got like influence and like if Stu were to be alive, I know he was supposed to come back in what 3 or something like that.
3, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
in the 90s. I don't consider that anymore. But if he was to come back in 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever, it would only be because fans want it and not because it makes any kind of narrative sense. Like this is a franchise that's supposed to be rooted in reality, and I don't see a reality where Stu is
Been hidden
He's
this
made
whole
it.
time.
been hidden.
Yeah, I don't
and-
know because
and
people
the
really
lie.
want him to come back. And if
But-
y'all complain about a girl's height level, y'all gotta be. Oh, why does that get a pass?
Yeah,
like
I-
I'm
That's
so
the thing. People want it, but they
confused.
don't want it. You know,
That's
It's
the
so
thing.
weird.
That's
to
exactly
me.
right.
And I
they'll
like.
want it,
I
and once
like.
they get it, they'll hate it.
I like
Because-
guessing who the killer is. I don't want no
Yeah.
past guy coming back. Like, oh, I'm back. I'm the killer again. No, that's weak.
And people love Matthew Lillard so much, and I understand.
I
why.
like him too, but
He's
he
such a
did.
cool-
I'm sorry.
He's an awesome human being. So I get why people want him to be in these movies still. You know, they're like, oh, it's not fair. We only got him for 1, and you know, I get that, but it's like sometimes
It's
less
weird.
is more. You know,
Like I know what you did last summer. Just got announced they're doing a new movie, bringing back
Yeah.
Jennifer Love Hewitt
Yep.
and Freddie Prinze
Freddie
Jr.
Prinze,
Right?
yeah.
All these fans are like asking Sarah Michelle Gellar, "Oh, are you gonna come back?" And I love her response. That bitch said, "I'm dead." Thank you. That girl got. Oh,
Yeah,
that was
what
a
is-
great.
we need
That's arguably my
Brandy. We need
favorite
Brandy
chase
back.
scene ever. That chase scene, Helen Shivers, amazing. But she's dead, and I'm glad that the actress came out and said that because
asking
it's-
her if she's coming back is just kind of a dumb question.
that was a dumbass question. That bitch died.
That's a stupid question.
I love her character. I love her as an
Me
actress.
too.
But why did she keep turning back? Oh, that bugged me. She
Yeah.
kept turning back to look for him. Just run into the damn parade. But
She was almost there. Yeah.
Gotta love her, though.
Tim, have you ever been chased by a killer before?
I know, Tim. I
Fair.
want to see you chased by a killer,
You
Tim.
gotta make
And-
sure
and
they're still
not look
chasing
back.
you.
I know. I'll be looking back. I'll be
I'll probably
be
running
gone.
backwards.
I have a
Mhm.
question for you guys. What is your favorite Scream ripoff? Out of all the movies that came out in the wake of Scream, what is your favorite?
I know he did last summer.
Yeah,
I love.
Probably the
I
Saturday.
know what you did last summer.
Yeah, I like Urban Legend too, though,
I'm a
because that
big Urban
reveal.
Legend fan, dude.
Yeah, me too. I let reveal. I didn't think it was that crazy-eyed, big-haired bitch. What's her name with the eyes? Gayheart. She
Oh,
was
yeah.
crazy, and she was
Scream 2.
killing because of revenge. She was trying to get that Alicia Witt character because her and her girl from college they used that Urban Legend and ran her love of her life off the road. So she was getting her revenge.
Urban
The bitch
Legend
didn't die.
has-
She fell in that water and she came back and she's in the sequel. She crazy. Urban Legend was good.
To this day,
Valentine.
because of that movie,
Valentine.
whenever I see a car with their headlights off, I let it go.
Oh, Urban
I let
Legend.
it
You're
go.
on your own, buddy.
I learned when I was 10. Nope.
Urban
Mhm.
Legend
Yeah.
has such a stacked cast. You have Jared Leto, Michael Rosenbaum, Joshua Jackson, Tara Reid, Danielle Harris, Robert
Mhm.
England. Like,
Brad
Yeah,
Dorff
sure
was.
did.
Let's not forget Brad
Oh,
Dorff. in
Brad
his
Dorff.
beginning.
Brad Dorff was
Oh
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
Chucky.
yes.
In
Out
the
of
someone's in the
everybody.
back seat. He couldn't get it out because he was stuttering.
That is
Yep.
that is my
Yep.
favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah.
And I also checked my back seat because damn, Urban Legends may have had a bigger
Urban
effect on
Legend.
me than I
Thank you.
thought.
So you change your
Yeah.
type. You change your
I think
pick.
Urban Legend has a better cast than Scream all around, and
Okay.
maybe that's controversial, but just like it's not a better movie, but I like the a lot of the actors in that a lot better.
No, it's a good cast. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're close, but I give the edge to Urban Legend.
That was a good movie. 1998.
It's a fun ass movie.
Yeah. What's funny about Matt Lillard is I feel like he kind of gives in to the fandom because there's an interview where he literally says,
He
"Well, I'm
wants
not
to
going to be
come
in
back."
5, but you never know because if they ask me to come back, I'll come back." So I feel like the fans kind of look at that as like, "Oh, he's saying that he's eventually coming back."
But
and
that
he's gonna
doesn't
be
mean
in
he'll
it."
come back as a
That-
killer. He
yeah,
could be a fucking
exactly.
ghost like Billy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Billy's a ghost. Maybe one of these
Yeah.
new characters they brought in is another spawn from Stu.
Yeah,
He killed off his nephew in the last movie.
Yeah, because he was in 5. He was the ghost face with the chrome ghost face. And the
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
was. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. That was a little Easter egg too. Yep.
That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I will say, as far as the Matthew Lillard thing, I'm on Team Terrell here.
Thank
do
you.
not do this. I think
Thank you.
not only I love Matthew Lillard, I love Stu. But guess what? He had his time in the sun.
He sure did.
And it's over. Like this is
Mm-hmm.
the key with the franchise is that it's always someone different.
Yeah.
Ghostface
Thank
is not a
you.
person. Ghostface
Yep.
is a uniform, right? And so
Mhm.
I don't want a repeat Ghostface. I don't want anyone that's been already in one of
Yep.
these. I definitely don't want
Thank
a
you.
dead person, you know.
I
who died.
know.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely out on that. And if the one thing, Mark, when you're talking about like the fans, and I hate that
Yeah.
they infiltrate movies to the point
Do
of
not listen to.
they
We don't know what we
determine
want. Don't
what the
listen to
studios
us.
want. Because
Do not
the
listen
fact
to
of the
us.
matter is, yeah, if it happens, they won't like it. They won't like it.
Yeah.
They'll complain about
And then
it.
they're gonna complain after y'all
Yeah.
bitches asked for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
they always
I'm
ask for shit, then they
not-
trash it. They want original movies. You get an original movie, then you trash it. Girl,
Ass and trash.
yes.
Yeah, bring back this character, and then they
Yeah,
do like,
you
they
get
didn't
it, and
treat
it's
him
like
right. They
you
didn't
don't,
do
or
what
they
I
don't go to
wanted.
the theater to see it. They
And I'm sure,
pirate it, or
and I'm sure Matthew
Yeah.
Lillard wants to come back. It's one hell of a paycheck.
Of course,
Mhm.
why
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
he?
Exactly.
Of course, he would
But you know
come
what?
back. But
If-
just saying that he wants to come back doesn't. An actor wants to work. What a surprise!
Yeah.
Like
If they want him so bad and they have a great idea, write the script, see what you can make happen.
I have.
Otherwise, let them make their movie.
Yeah.
Go see it, and then you determine: do I like
Mhm.
it? Do I not like it? But I'm not on Team Stu. I loved him in Scream, and I would like to keep him there in
Yeah.
Scream 1 when he was young and vibrant and killing people.
Yeah.
I don't need him anymore.
The hoops and mental gymnastics you would have to go through to make that work.
It's
would
not
just-
worth my
It
energy.
does
or
not
time.
warrant. It
I
doesn't.
don't see it working out at all.
It just
No
doesn't.
matter what they do.
There's no world
Yeah.
in which that works. I just don't see it.
De-age him and bring him back Randy style as a VHS.
As a
Oh my
VHS
God.
tape.
If they can find a nice middle ground where they can have a nice cameo for him, similar to kind of what they did with Billy, that would probably be the best case scenario because you can still. Well, actually, those people would hate that probably. The people who want Stu to
Yeah.
come back probably
Yeah.
hate
They
that.
want him to
They'd feel
fully
so
come back
cheated,
and
yeah.
be
Yeah.
the bad guy.
There's no appeasing them.
Yep.
No, it's just there's no good way to do it. Really,
Mhm.
when you make a movie for everyone, you make a movie for no one. So
Mhm.
just don't listen to the fans. It's like the worst thing you could do.
What's cool is there's a guy on YouTube, 3C Films, and he got to go to LA where they had like this huge setup that you could walk through.
Yeah,
that
I
was
saw
like
that.
the grocery store
Mhm.
and the big room with all like the different weapons and Ghostface costumes.
Memorabilia.
It was cool is
I
they had
follow
the
a guy who was
TV.
there. Yeah, I just saw that.
that-
on my story.
Yeah, they've took and tossed on Stu's head in the movie, which kind of when you look at it, you're like, how could that not kill somebody? You know, you
Dude,
look at
those
that, you're like,
CRT
Those
TVs
TVs
are so
weighed
goddamn
200
heavy.
pounds
Yeah.
back then.
they weren't light. That's why, like,
Yeah.
if you watch the movie, it takes them a second to pull it down and hit him in the head because
Yeah.
it wasn't light.
You guys,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
in this-
I had like a 19 inch when I was a kid, and that was heavy as shit.
Mhm.
They had that was a much bigger one.
I'm in this Facebook group, and this guy was trying to post something. He posted like stats about like distances that people have fallen and like and lived, and tried to use that as like some kind of metric
Oh
for
my
like
God.
how you could
my
survive this.
God.
I'm like, first of
Ooh.
all, you shouldn't be looking to things that happen in real life to determine what can happen in your fictional movie. But and it's just like and that's what I'm saying. Like these people will do anything to try to convince themselves that this is something that could happen. And it's like, dude, just it's not.
Yeah,
it makes
besides the
no
TV,
sense.
that man was dying. Billy stabbed
Yeah, he
him
was
hella deep.
stabbed, yeah.
What did he say? He was bleeding
He was
profusely.
bleeding
He
out.
was on
He
that
was
phone. He threw the phone on his
electrocuted.
head. And then he was like, I'm feeling a little woozy here. That nigga was dying.
was
What are y'all talking about?
bleeding out.
And then the TV, that heavy ass TV, he got kneed in the balls. He's in pain.
He was electrocuted
So,
too. Like
He's dead.
You're not walking away from that, dude. You just
No,
know
he's
that.
not. I'm sorry, y'all. Stu's dead.
And it's only because we've had all this time, like as the fandom has grown and grown and
Mhm.
grown, that now we're like, we want this guy to come back.
Yep.
Not we.
No.
Some other people.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so let's look at some of these comments towards the end here, and after that, we'll give our condolences. You know, we get out of here, and it's getting pretty late. But I know everybody's pumped to see Scream. We remember watching that opening scene in Scream. What a great opening.
Yep.
Love how dark it was, and that opening kill with Drew's character. Scream did really rejuvenate the horror genre for the 90s. 100%. We got stuck in the doggy door. Yep, definitely iconic part, you know. I love how Scream delivers 3 twists in a row. So shocking watching that for the first time. Oh, yeah. Because they kind of just threw everything at you at once with that, which was... You didn't see that often. So 87 babies.
Represent.
Yep. Scream 6, 5 Days Out. Yep. I feel like some people have already seen it, and then there's like I think there's like a Wednesday showing and a Thursday showings. Etsy King.
Etsy King. Yep, told you.
Dude, who loves Etsy?
Yeah, that's him.
It's happening.
That Goosebumps poster is sick. I got it.
Yes, it is.
I love it.
Tribal Etsy chief, acknowledge me.
Oh my God, Roman
Somebody's
Reigns.
going WWE
Oh
in the
my
chat.
God,
Etsy.
that man annoying
Roman
now.
Reigns. Yeah.
He needs to
Part of the family.
Part of the bloodline over here. Yeah.
Bloodline.
Stu is dead. Don't bring him back.
Thank you.
Definitely. Let's go. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Goat. It is definitely one of those ones that I do go back to often. It's a
But
fun
Julie
one.
sucks. That's an awful final girl. She just cries and turns around, and she's got
That's
a huge
the worst
rack.
part of the movie.
Tim likes titties. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, she that's it. She
Jennifer
just
Love
screamed. She didn't fight back. That bitch was weak.
But if I could switch things though, I would switch Sarah Michelle Gellar and Jennifer Love.
Yeah, because she actually
That's what it
had
was supposed
something
to
to
be, I think.
give. Because Julie was weak. She just screamed and ran. Ray helped her. She didn't kill nobody in that movie. She just ran. That was not a
It
final
was
girl
her
to me.
face. That was it. They got her because of the face, you know.
And I love her. I'm sorry. I watched Ghost Whisperer. She cried every episode. She got her paycheck. But no, I like her. She's great. But not in that movie.
We love
Urban Legend, yes.
And it was
Great
all
movie.
for Rocker. Oh yeah.
Brenda, that was her name.
Even part 2 I liked. I liked Urban Legend too. It was a good
The
one.
final cut. Yep.
Matthew
Yep.
Lawrence.
Yeah. Favorite character, Urban Legend.
She's-
is
Oh
Reese, played by the
yes,
She's
Loretta
very good,
Devine,
too.
1000%.
She's very good too. I
Oh, yeah.
can't believe I forgot to mention her.
Joshua Jackson was an Urban Legend and also a small role in Scream 2. Yep.
Who's all over the place? Cruel Intentions,
Pop
Dawson's
Rocks and
Creek.
Pepsi. Remember that?
How
Stu?
far will
Yep.
Scream go, do you think? And then he went on to say, I'm betting they go to 8.
I
I could
think
Like a
see
new
that.
trilogy.
Yeah, I think 8.
5, 6, 7. Oh, I don't
No,
know.
I-
they should
I
go.
could
I think they
see-
should go to 7 and give it some breathing room. probably.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah, I'm
new
sorry. Yeah, 5,
trilogy.
6, 7.
7.
Yeah, you're right,
7 should be
7.
it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
That new
Yeah.
trilogy. Yeah.
Give it another
With
like.
the way things are
Yeah.
going, I could see them bringing the stab thing into it eventually, maybe, and using that
Stab
as
8,
like, let's
how they-
make a stab movie or just to connect it. And I think they would make a lot of money off of that with the fandom, especially.
Like a
'cause-
spin-off, maybe.
yeah,
something.
because I have an 11-year-old niece who she and her friends are nuts about these movies, and
Yeah.
they're 13, 12, 11 years old, and they're now into these movies. So I could see this going for a while.
90s fashion is very popular right now, especially among younger teenagers. I've noticed. So Scream, I think, plays to that crowd still for sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
90s is hitting hard again.
Yeah.
Definitely. James said I could see a double-digit finale. Okay.
no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Scream
Scream
6
6 in
is
3D.
3D. Loco.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Thursday
Yeah.
showing should be
The
fun.
Fill
fan
out
with
the
the
event.
poster, the fan
Yeah.
event. Yep, I'm getting my poster.
Me too.
What's
Mhm.
cool is with all the different showings, there's like different posters for each different showing. So like if you go to the one event, there's like the cool one where he's at the knife and with the city background, which is pretty sweet. And then I think if you go to like the 3D one, you get a different poster. It's like a white poster where it's like the city on
Yep.
the side with the ghost face.
All of my
Yep.
all the fan events around here were all 3D. So I'm not big.
Yeah,
you know,
mine's 3D too.
yeah, mine's
Yep.
3D as well.
Yep.
And then 40X for Scream. Let's go. It's
Okay,
funny.
James.
That's one of the guys actually going with me to see it in 40X.
Oh,
You
next
actually
Friday.
get
awesome.
stabbed if you see it in 40X, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Well,
you
that's
have to get that.
That's what
Yeah.
the
Guy
movies
comes
in
out
it.
and just
They
stabs
spray you
you.
with blood and you actually get stabbed. It's pretty
Getting
neat.
stabbed in the face in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
peeking
rock
through
you
the-
all
around
the
like
way.
you're getting thrown around. the water comes out like it's blood. It's pretty good. It's cool. It's definitely an experience, but it's in 3D
right.
too, so it's that plus the glasses,
It's
which
too much.
is, to
I
me,
did
it's a lot.
like 2 movies there, and I was like, never again.
Yeah. But this has been awesome, everybody, and I think we all love the Scream movies, as I can see. You know, everyone really wanted to talk Scream, which was great, and I want to thank everybody for coming out for my first stream.
Thank you for having
Having
me.
you guys on.
Thanks for having
So,
us.
no problem. So what I'll do is I'll let you guys each have a little second to say goodbye. You know, post, talk about your channel quick, and yeah, we'll send it from there. So let's
All
start
right.
with Terrell.
Thank
Say
you. I'm gonna
what's
keep this
up.
quick. You can follow me at Instagram, Terrell88, YouTube, The Overlook Theater, where I do Blu-ray Tuesday episodes every week. It's super fun. Check them out. And this was awesome. Thank you guys for having me. And all you guys are fun. Thank you guys for talking Scream. This is awesome. And follow everybody here. Everybody here is awesome. And I can't wait. We should have like a group chat. We should all talk about Scream 6 when we all see it. It'd be great.
Yep.
Down.
We keep that one open on Instagram.
Yes. There you go.
Awesome. So let's get over to Tim.
I really appreciate this, Rob. Great first stream. I had a blast. I don't have anything to promote besides my top 25 stream. So if you're interested, please send me a list for your top 25 90s movies. I'm doing a big community list type thing. I'll put everything together. And on April 8th, the results come out. It's going to be a big live stream. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, if anyone's interested, top 25 90s movies, just send them to me in a DM or email me at timtalkstalkies@gmail. Whatever you want. Just send me a list.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, Tim's done a Christmas and a horror one. They're so much fun. Everyone in the community gets together. They throw in their top 25, and he goes through them. I know it's a lot of work, but it's so much fun to watch when it's all done.
This 91 is hard. I've been working on a list for about 3 days here, Tim.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Nate, what you got?
I sent my list to Tim already, so there you go.
Yes.
There's that. Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at NateFlix Reviews. NateFlix, one word. Geeks and Flicks on Monday nights. We do a live show tomorrow night, 9 p.m. on YouTube. Geeks and Flicks. We're currently doing a ultimate action hero tournament of all these action movie lead characters. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow.
Nice.
And also have a podcast where we do action movie reviews only called Action Movie Guys. So the link for the YouTube's in my bio on Instagram. If you don't already follow me, NateFlix Reviews.
Nice.
Awesome. Go follow him, guys. He has great content. I love to watch all his
I
stuff.
swear.
What's up,
Then
guys?
we got Dude Loves.
Yep,
Who
I'm
loves
Cook.
Etsy? Change the name. Love it. Yes.
So yeah, I'm Cody. I'm just a dude who loves movies. I'm brand new to Instagram. That's dude who loves movies, and I'm also brand new to YouTube. So I have a brand new channel that just started about a month ago. It's I've hit the ground running. I'm having a great time. Friday night, you can see me on Drum Dum's channel. I'll be part of a roundtable for talking all Scream 6 spoilers.
Ooh. Oh shit. I'm here
Wow.
for that.
Yeah,
That'd
that's
be a
good
lot of
one,
fun,
man.
guys.
That's awesome,
Definitely
Cody.
check
Oh,
out
that's gonna
Drum
be
Dum's,
great.
yep. And let's get to Mark. Let us know about.
Yeah, first of all, Rob, awesome first stream. You killed it. I'm so happy and honored to be a part of it. This was an awesome panel, and I'm glad this Scream isn't my favorite horror franchise, so I'm glad I had enough valuable contributions to the conversation. You guys all are probably bigger Scream fans than I am, so it was really cool getting all your takes. But yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and YouTube at Just Tales from the Shelf, where I do a mix of different things. I'm still kind of I'm relatively new as well. I just started my channel in October, so I'm trying a lot of different things, seeing what I like more than others. So yeah, don't know what should be hitting next as far as a video. So just subscribe and stay tuned if you're interested.
Awesome. And I know if you guys want to check him out, he really gets a deep dive into his movies. He really dissects them, and he puts a lot of work into his videos. They're really fun to watch. So definitely
Thank you,
subscribe
Rob.
to everyone here.
Mhm.
I was so glad that you guys wanted to, get up here on this live stream, especially because with Scream 6 coming out, I was so
Yes.
excited. I wanted to do this for my first live stream and get out there and figure out how all this works, because
Yep.
it's a lot at first, but getting better at it. But I want to thank everybody for coming. I had a great
Thanks.
time, and thanks to everybody in the comments for watching and
Thanks for
listening to
having
us
us.
talk Scream.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
until next time, thank you so much,
Hey,
guys.
love it.
We'll be right back.
Be right back.
Woo.